passing bells, calling out my name. I knew I'd never see another day. I couldn't swim against the tides of blame. I knew there was no other way. You better practice your life. You better practice your words. I know that real monsters lie between the light and the shade. It doesn't matter what you say or feel. When honest men become the raging gene, you flip to a lie. The sun, you're the sentence. Brothers, yes, you are. The sun, you're the sentence. You'll see you flip to a lie. The sun, you're the sentence. Brothers,
sounds of Trivium, the sin and the sentence. Sounds pretty damn good in the dark horse, man. All the engagement merchants online, man. Am I gonna hear you tonight? You guys gonna be in my DMs? You're gonna be on my X wall. You're gonna be on Jesse's wall. What do you gotta say tonight? We're all so negative. Meanwhile, I'm sure my positivity tonight is gonna go vastly unnoticed. Dynamite tonight. Massive thumbs up show. If I could bottle Cardiff and take it back to the United States, MJF might have a problem with that, though. We can't upset our American hero. But if I could take that energy and bottle it and bring it back to the United States and have that every week on AEW television, man, we'd be in so much of a better place. Tonight we're gonna talk Dynamite, the go-home show, the final stop. Because nobody watches Collision before All In at Wembley Stadium. And tonight, we're going to address Dax Softwood. We love you, bro. But we got to get something off our chest. I got to get something in my belly, man, and that's an old-fashioned. I'm going to the beer garden. Actually, we're not going to the beer garden tonight. We're going to the venue, the OG venue. I'm going downstairs to my mother's basement, and Jesse's upstairs. The drinks are going to be flowing. Everything's ice cold. And when we get to the venue on this Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for August 21st, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on your Wednesday evenings, wherever you may be. And no, we got no tequila in the venue, man. I banned it for good. Joined by the co-host on Wednesday nights, the Chi-Town Smart himself, Jesse. What's going on, man?
What is good, brother? Is there anything exciting going on in pro wrestling these days?
I don't know, man. I No. I'll tell you what, man. All the negativity merchants, man. Oh, Jesse is so negative, man.
Oh,
I can't wait to hear them in droves tonight, man. I can't wait to hear all their saltiness.
The funny part is my wife tried telling you assholes a long time ago that I was a fucking prick. She did. You guys didn't believe her. Sorry.
I don't know, man. You want to be a prick to us, we'll be a bigger prick back to you. But AEW tonight, after a couple of weeks of fluff television, because it hasn't been all that exciting, there's been a certain something missing from these shows. There's been heat and excitement missing from these shows. I'm not the only content creator in this space that has said that. If you guys open your fucking ears and your eyes, you would have seen several others that do what I do say the same thing.
They only listen to one.
No, apparently I'm the only one that exists.
Yep.
But the show tonight, Jesse, in Cardiff, the first time Dynamite was in Europe, the first time that AEW has been in Cardiff, and if I could bottle the energy that was in that building tonight, and shout out to AEW, they ran a building that is something that they should be doing here in the United States. They fit about 5,000 there. If I could bottle that energy tonight, man, and take it back to the United States and have Tony Khan take that wherever he goes for the following weeks of Dynamite, I would love it, man. That's exactly what Dynamite needed, man. This crowd is what Dynamite needed right before All In, man. The energy was right. It was exciting. They put on a really good show. We got great in-ring action. We got a fucking unbelievable promo face-to-face with MJF and Will Ospreay. I thought they had a home run tonight.
If I could bottle the UK energy, I would just bottle the UK if I could and just bring them all to the United States, man.
Yeah.
When we went out there, my God, it was like a pro wrestling haven. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you just combine all of our mark cities here. You combine all your New Yorks and Chicagos and everything, and you bowl them up and put them into one, and you get the United Kingdom. And I thoroughly enjoyed their wrestling energy when we went out there. And then whenever they're visited, that never changes, man. They keep that same energy for every damn show. And I love it. And shout out to all of the UK people that showed us a phenomenal time and hospitality while we were there last year. Phenomenal place, man. Love it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, I'm sure, at some point tonight. But I got to shout out my guy here. David Thiering with a $100 super chat. What's up, JD and Jesse? I'm struggling to come up with a good name for our good buddy Dax. Let me see, Dax. Softwood? No wood? Cockwood? Forwood? LOL. I'm having too much fun with this. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say on that situation. Hashtag OTS for life. David. Thank you very much, brother. You paid for half of that Trivium song that we played in the intro and what will be played in the outro, man. That shit wasn't cheap, so thank you very much, man. Only want to give you guys the best, man, and no other podcast is playing music that fucking good, man. Thank you, David. I appreciate you very much, and everybody here tonight on the podcast. I agree, Jesse. England, the United Kingdom, it was our first time there. I loved it. The energy was unbelievable. We hate AEW so much, man, that we flew 7 hours across the pond to go watch a fucking show amongst 80,000 people. Man, we hate AEW so much, man. It's unbelievable.
We are just jerk. All we do is hate on them. We traveled halfway around the world just to hate on them.
Crazy.
Just to hate on them, man. We're not fans. We don't enjoy the product and love what they do and hope that they improve. That's not what we want.
Nah.
We want them to fail miserably, bro.
Nah. Now, we paid our way to get into All In last year. We flew out there. We even did the fucking podcast live in person at a UK fucking podcast studio, man.
Was that free or paid for by AEW?
It was not paid by AEW. It was paid out of my own pocket.
So you pay out of your own damn pocket because you care.
Because I care.
Well, that makes no sense compared to what I'm hearing on the internet.
I hate AEW, bro. I'm a grifter. I'm a negativity merchant. It's crazy, man. I don't know where these people come up with these these takes, honestly.
I love it. I love it. Let's get into it.
Proving everybody wrong, man. Week by week, as usual. Nobody does what we do here. We're the best at the game. And we're going to get into this Dynamite tonight. I want to thank you guys very much for joining us here on Wednesday night. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Follow me on social media. Follow Jesse on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Follow Jesse at ChyTownSmark on X. Everything you need is linked down below in the description. Go follow Jesse on YouTube as well. His name is pinned at the top of the description. Just click it, and it'll take you right to his channel. I uploaded an extra today on the Ricky Stark situation that Monster broke on Tuesday Night Titans. It's the first time anybody heard it, and then everybody else ran with it. But we talked about that last night, and I got my own thoughts on it today. Talked about the Warner Media deal on Tuesday Night Titans as well. Today I got my own thoughts on that, so make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out. We were also live for Monday Night Raw as well, as we're getting ready for Bash in Berlin, which is also looking like a great show. So make sure you guys go check all that stuff out. And Super Chats are open. I would love to see the same energy from a lot of people tonight, like David Thiering tonight, man. So thank you to David, and thank you for everybody in the Super Chat. We will read your messages at the end of the show. So thank you guys for keeping the energy going, as we are going to get into this AEW Dynamite stream. And we're going to start right at the top with Miss Mercedes Mone and our favorite doctor, Britt Baker, who opened the show with a contract signing. Gee willikers, Jesse, didn't we call this like 2 weeks ago that we needed something like this, man? And then we get the show tonight, and at the top of the hour, we see exactly what we laid out just a couple weeks ago. And I'm sure we talked about it last week as well, man. It's great to see something that we throw out there, man. A nice, easy fucking two-pointer, right, from the free throw line. Nice and easy. And we get what we want on the show. And we get what we absolutely needed for this feud, because coming into this, it's been fucking ice cold. We all know Britt and the suspension kind of derailed things a little bit. I feel personally that Britt is kind of half-assing it, honestly. I don't feel that sense of urgency that I described last week. Things have been just off. The promos have been off. There's been no dialogue. Tonight, before we get into what they said, I thought this was great. I thought that Mercedes kind of showed exactly what she needs to do. She was kind of dipping in and out of it. The realism that Mercedes kind of briefly showed us tonight, we've seen a glimpse of it. Real is going to sell. And I would like Mercedes to be a little bit more real. I don't want to use the word ratchet because I think it's a dirty word, and I don't want people to take me out of context again, but that's exactly what Sasha Banks was in NXT. They called her I want to see that fucking nasty side of Mercedes. We've seen a little glimpse of that. Britt tonight, I thought, outshined Mercedes on the microphone, and the substance of what they talked about was exactly what we needed to hear. The funny thing is, I know that there is so much more that they can actually say that they didn't say, but what they did touch upon was exactly what we needed here tonight, Jesse. I thought they both did a great job.
Yeah, it was fine. And you know what, to give them the benefit of the doubt as far as doing something like a contract signing, things like that, maybe it was already planned. Maybe that was something that they wanted to save for the go-home show, which makes sense, which is fine, you know. But that doesn't mean that we just take a couple of weeks off on the buildup and wait till we get to the contract signing. I mean, we had nothing else of interest to do until that contract signing. The contract signing is exactly the kind of stuff that would have helped carry this feud on, but we got nothing in the meanwhile. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like that the Britt drama with MJF did kind of derail the momentum of that feud. I mean, it just feels like the Britt that came out when she returned was not the same Britt that was coming out to the ring after she had to deal with the stuff that happened in the locker room. She just had lose face on her all the way out and everything else, and you could tell she just wasn't there. I mean, from my perspective and yours. The segment was good. This segment was definitely something that they needed. I'm with you with Sasha. I'm sorry. When I say Sasha, I'm thinking about heel Sasha.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, and Mercedes does need to crank it up a little bit in the heel category to try to, if nothing else, make this gimmick work a little bit more than it has been. But if nothing else, it definitely would add to the feud and help move Britt over into the babyface category a little bit more too.
Yeah, Mercedes still sounds a little too WWE-esque for my liking here. This is where the best wrestle. She knows she's a great wrestler. We know that she can wrestle her ass off. But when it comes to cutting a promo, wasn't really ever her strong suit. And this is a place, her new home is AEW. This is the exact place where you want to be to kind of, leave those handcuffs at home a little bit and kind of just go out there and be you. But I still feel she sounds too WWE-esque. It's going to be tough to wipe off of what, Vince did and what they programmed her to do over 10 years over there. So it's going to be difficult to just transition from 10 years of that into her first 6 months here in AEW. But I hope to see a little bit more of that realism from Mercedes, which we saw a little bit of that tonight in this promo with Britt. Now, Tony was in the middle of the ring, Tony Schiavone, that is, and he was in the ring moderating this contract signing. So he introduced both ladies, and the CEO, cringy chants, piped in, as usual, with the theme music. She was joined by Camille, and Mercedes and Britt Baker were face-to-face, sitting at a table with the TBS Championship squarely in the center. So Mercedes says Britt is the past and will forever be the future. She will forever be the future. She vowed to tap her out at Wembley Stadium. So Baker goes on to say, yeah, that's cute. Fans chanted DMD. A lot of fans were big DMD enthusiasts here. Not so much Mercedes.
No.
The two ladies agreed to no physicality tonight. So they did not touch each other until the end. Baker said when she thinks of the past, she remembers Mercedes hobbling in on crutches to watch her at Wembley Stadium at All In last year. Before there was a CEO, there was a DMD. So I wasn't really feeling this segment up until this point because it's just second grade shit at this point. I'm the CEO. No, I'm the DMD. All right, I get it. We're using the nicknames here to get ourselves over. Great. Now give me what we need.
The part that I thought was fucking weird in this segment was Mercedes comes out and says, "Yeah, you're the past and I'm the future." Then Britt comes out and says, "Well, before there was a CEO, there was a DMD." If I'm Mercedes, I'm like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I just fucking said. Before there was you, now there's me." You just reiterated what I said. How was that a comeback?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking about that, but that's a good point, So she said before there was a CEO, there was a DMD. She signed the contract. Mercedes mocked the DMD finger gesture when she did CEO. Mercedes said the fans only like her because they're losers like her. So Cardiff swiftly chanted, "Shut the fuck up" at Mercedes, which, I never am against the nice "shut the fuck up" chant. Mercedes claimed that this is Baker's dream match because she inspired her to become a pro wrestler. She got a degree as a backup. So she asked if she really is all in. I didn't really get that line. She's not going to be wrestling forever. So what is she going to do after she finishes wrestling? Why not fall back on a dental career? Kind of silly to think that way, but Mercedes thought it was a slick comeback. Mercedes,
it's literally a smart thing to do.
I mean, fuck do I know, man? Here I am being negative. Oh my God. What would I say in that situation? I'm not allowed to express myself. God forbid. Mercedes.
She's trying to dig at her, but that literally makes Britt the smartest one in the whole goddamn room.
Mercedes says she's been all in since she was 10 years old and she's been putting women's wrestling on the map. That's all in. Now that I agree with. She said she will never be like her. She stood and pointed at her and insisted Baker will not beat her for the TBS Championship at All In. Baker said she has the guts and the heart and the balls. I hope that last part is not true. She said she never had a plan B, but she had 2 plan A's. She said she was one of 4, Mercedes, meaning the 4 horsewomen, Bayley, Sasha, the android, and Becky. Whereas she has only been one of 1. So that was a good line.
That's a good one. That was a really good one.
Yeah. She said Mercedes has always prided herself on being a star maker, but she's the baddest bitch on the block. That line right there was a legit shoot. That's exactly what she thinks of herself.
Yes.
She told her,
as you should, as everyone
yes,
should.
Yeah. I mean, I had no problem with her saying that. I'm just calling attention to that. That's exactly what she thinks she is. She told her she did get one thing right though. I admired you and I wanted to be you, Mercedes. You walked so girls like me could run. Baker said she became the foundation of the company she's sitting in right now. Mercedes mock applauded. Baker said she made a difference, but that person doesn't exist anymore. She said she's not a smug, arrogant ass who cares more about being the highest paid female than her legacy of inspiring future stars and role models. She said she hopes Mercedes finds that version of her again. She said she wants to say that's the version of her she beats on Sunday at All In. Baker stood and said not to worry. She would abide by the rules, and she reiterated again that to Tony Schiavone. But this bitch, and she points at Camille, is getting on my nerves. She said this, and she hit Camille with the microphone, which looked a little clunky. Then she drove Camille into the table in which they were sitting at, and that looked a little ridiculous and clunky. And then all of a sudden, Baker leapt onto Camille off the table and knocked them both backwards off the chair that Mercedes was sitting in. Camille and Mercedes retreated as Baker held up the TBS title in the ring as the segment came to a close. I could have done without the ending. I didn't need them to get physical. I didn't need all of this clunkiness. It looked a little ridiculous to me. It looked sloppy, if that's a good word to use here. Outside that, I thought this was a really good segment. This came 5 weeks too late. We all know the suspension for Britt derailed a lot of the heat for this feud, and Mercedes had to carry this for at least a couple weeks on her own, and they did absolutely nothing to advance the storyline with Britt being out. It was just very, very basic, first-grade shit, and this is exactly what we needed. Is it enough to make me care about the heat that these two supposedly have? No. But what they did is give us exactly what we needed to, a little bit late, but the match itself, I hope, turns into a very good outing for both women. I'm not expecting it to be the best women's match of the year. I'm not expecting it to even be the match of the night on Sunday, but I thought they carried themselves well. I thought Britt outshined Mercedes on the microphone, as she usually does. Thought Mercedes showed glimpses of what she needs to do. All in all, outside the close to this segment, I thought they did a great job, both of them.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the issue, and keep track of this, guys. This is going to be an ongoing theme for the night. The issue here is not Britt Baker, and it is not Mercedes Mone. It's creative, okay? That's going to be the theme here. It's creative. It just so happens that these are the women that are in the ring carrying out what creative has given them. So if our critique is something about creative, it is not about what the women did in their performance or anything like that. I think all things considered, I think they're doing just fine. Could it have been better? Yeah, man. It could have been. Everything could have been better. Nobody's fucking perfect. We're not trying to look for perfection here. But at the same time, yes, it could have been better, and it's not because of them, it's because of creative. Creatively, I would have made sure to fill in those gaps where we just didn't really give a shit about what was going on. It could have been a little bit more creative in that sense of we just need something to sink our fucking teeth into. And having one of the women come out and stare down the other one after they've had a match is just not enough, okay? And that's basically what we've been given. So just a little bit more creative. I mean, if you take a few minutes, come up with something interesting, bounces off of your talent, pity pat some ideas around, maybe something will stick. But it doesn't feel like we got that effort until tonight.
Yeah, listen, I've been very open and honest, and if people don't like my direct comments, they don't like my delivery on how I explain what I like and what I don't like, I think for the most part this feud has fucking sucked. And I have no problem expressing that. If you have a problem with that, go seek some other fucking show that's going to blow smoke up your fucking asshole. I don't give a shit. This feud has not carried on the way that it needs to with the star power of both Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné. Now, I could sit here and just give you my firsthand viewing experience from what I see with my own two eyes. I don't think Mercedes has cut a good promo. I thought tonight was very good. I thought what she did in that first segment that we saw Britt return in was very good. Everything else has been fucking shit. Britt Baker, I feel, has lacked intensity. I feel like Britt, especially last week, there was no sense of urgency. I thought that was a colossal fucking fail, just a mess all around. Walking down through the crowd, standing on the apron, taking her sweet time, taking the glove on, or putting the glove on, rather. It's just a little ridiculous. Like these things that I see, it's not exactly how I envision things to go. So if you don't expect me to call that stuff out, I'm not the only one that's been saying this shit. There are other people online. There are other people that do what I do that have expressed those same things. I'm not the only one that sees this shit. And if you don't expect me to call out the bad, then I don't know what the fuck you want out of me. I really don't. This feud is two of the biggest women that this company houses. And it should feel like it. And it doesn't. That's all I'm saying. Now, I don't know where this feud goes. Who knows what happens if Jamie Hayter comes back? I'm hearing rumors from Sap, because he did a Q&A, that Britt's camp and Britt don't like Jamie Hayter. I don't fucking know. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it certainly sounds like Jamie Hayter should be a part of this thing now that Mercedes has Camille. So if Jamie Hayter is involved in this thing, where does it go? Does it get amplified? Is anybody going to care about Britt when Jamie Hayter comes back? Because Jamie Hayter was pretty fucking over before she went away. What's going to happen then? Are we going to move on from Mercedes and Britt to Mercedes and Jamie Hayter? What are we doing? These are legit questions that I have. Legit concerns that I have. So we'll see what happens. This is maybe match 1 of 2 or 3 between these two ladies. I have no fucking clue. We don't know if Jamie Hayter's going to get involved with Britt and something's going to, take a nice turn and maybe they feud together. I have no idea. So we'll see how it all plays out after Wembley. But going into Wembley, if you think this feud is exactly where it needs to be, you're smoking something, and I would love to know the name of your dealer, man, because you guys are fucking completely off key with what you're thinking about this feud.
I really hope that that Sap is off with that rumor, because if there is heat between Hayter and Baker, that will really throw a complete monkey wrench in Hayter's return. If they're not, well, I mean, if they have heat and they're gonna work together anyway, then fuck everything I'm getting ready to say then. But if they have heat and they're not gonna work together because of it, it really throws off Jamie's return, because she was directly connected to Britt Baker. I mean, so I'm hoping, if there is anything, that it's not so bad that they won't work together, because they do need to pick up where they left off. Even if they want to separate them, they just can't start off by separating them and not fucking addressing it.
You mentioned something tonight that I noticed the last couple of weeks since Britt's been back, and you called it out tonight, and I was paying attention to it. I didn't really make mention of it the last couple of weeks, but you did tonight via text. Britt is obviously missing her pyro. Now, I don't want to make that into a big deal, but when Britt was on TV before she went away, she always used to do that finger in the air, turn around, show us her back, walk backwards, and then walk forwards with the pyro going off.
Right.
I thought it looked great. I thought it was a huge part of her entrance. We haven't gotten that. Is there a reason why she hasn't gotten any pyro the last 2 or 3 weeks? Does that have to go along with the suspension that she was given? Is management upset at her? Is she upset at management? Is she giving her all into this feud? These are the things that I'm thinking about, and this is not out of the realm of discussion, because this is a podcast, and we're supposed to discuss what we see and what we feel watching these shows. Is she all in? This is a legit question. Is Britt all in on this feud? I don't think so. I don't. Because there's only one outcome here. She knows she's going into Wembley, and she knows she's putting Mercedes over, and Britt feels she may deserve better. That's the way I feel. I mean, I don't blame her for feeling that way, but listen, times have changed. This is not the same company it was 3 years ago. It's not. Britt was the star of the show. She's not the star of the show anymore. We got Mercedes in here. Now, Britt is a supporting player. She's got to work her way back to being the Mercedes of the division, but does she want it? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, so I noticed she didn't have her pyro at Collision either.
No, which we both watched, by the way.
which we both watched.
We have the text messages to prove it.
I have somebody in my timeline telling me, it was like, JD didn't even watch Collision. Like, I personally know he did. So, I mean, please stop that fucking narrative. All right. I mean, she didn't get the pyro at Collision. All right. So could it be they just, because no one got pyro either. Did they just cut pyro out of the budget entirely? Or did they just cut Britt's pyro? Because if I can remember correctly, she's had pyro for her entire existence in the company.
Yes.
So maybe they just cut it out entirely for budget reasons. Who knows? I'm trying to remember. Did she have it when she returned at the pay-per-view? When she came into the ramp?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't remember if she had it when she returned, because the issue backstage made its way. I don't want to say it happened after she returned, but it made its way to the dirt sheets after she returned. So I don't know if it has anything to do with it or it just happened to be we were cutting it out anyway. But it is noticeably absent. All right, because when she turns around and does her thing, does her entrance, you're waiting for it because we've always had it. And then when it's not there, you wonder why. And then you remember that she just had this fucking heat and everything else. Then you got to ask if it has something to do with that. Now, it might not, but that's just the perception of it right now at this time. So
Listen,
they say, yes, she did have it when she returned.
Okay, well, I mean, it's just something that we noticed. If you don't want us to call out, if you want us to call out stuff like this, or you want us to just be oblivious to this type of shit, I mean, this is what we do here. Sorry. We create engaging discussion, whether you like it or not. I mean, tough shit.
Yeah, send us in the DMs a list of things you want us to cover, not cover, get upset about, not get upset about, how you want it delivered, and who you want to deliver it to, so we know, please.
I was at Forbidden Door. She had pyro on her return.
She had pyro, okay.
Okay. There you go. There you go. That's coming from Triple X 2600 in the chat. Maybe they're just cutting budget on the fireworks. Who knows?
Could be.
Maybe they got something big planned for All In, and they were saving their pennies for the big Wembley show. Who knows?
Yeah, man.
Maybe it's nothing.
They got to pay Shane McMahon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They got to pay Shane. They got to pay Ricochet. They got to pay Ali. They got to pay Dijak. They got to pay whoever else they're going to bring on in. Who knows? Chris Jericho. He's out there with Big Bill and Brian Keith. The Learning Tree. He went one-on-one with the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington. The same Tommy Billington that FTR Bald said was offered a contract after their match several weeks ago on Collision, and then Tony Khan upped the offer because WWE reached out to people close to Billington who wanted to bring him on into NXT. Now, I don't know if I believe that or not. I don't know why he would lie on that, but that's the going rumor right now on Tommy Billington and why he's landed with an AEW contract. He's only on this show tonight because he's the Dynamite Kid and he's from the United Kingdom. So, thus, a one-on-one match with Chris Jericho opened the show. To be fair.
Whitest Rabbit may have pointed out, where was Collision last week?
Collision was at the Esports Arena. They're in Texas. Okay, they've had the residency there for like 5 weeks now.
Never mind then. Yeah, he said that some European venues don't allow indoor pyro, which could be a thing.
All right. Well, I mean, this dates back to when they were in the United States last week. So
yeah, they were in. So never mind that then. Yeah.
I will be open and honest with you guys as always. Tommy Billington didn't look bad tonight. He looked like he worked very well with Jericho. The crowd was into it. If there's one thing I like about Tommy Billington, and I like, when I see this out of a performer. He's very stiff, meaning he runs the ropes hard, he hits hard, he wrestles like a fucking wrestler. So I appreciate that, and I thought he worked very well with Chris Jericho. I don't know what you thought of him, Jesse. What did you think of him? I don't know if you've seen him wrestle Dax. I did watch that match. What did you think of him tonight against Chris Jericho?
So it just, to me, I think he did everything like, rookie, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry if this is a wrong way to classify him, but I thought he did everything that a rookie should do. Like you just pointed out, he's hitting the ropes hard. He's selling in the right spots. He's putting some impact on his moves. He's giving things time to breathe. He's doing things that normally a seasoned veteran would do. But what I like most about him is his gimmick, because it's just not a lot of people might be familiar with the Dynamite Kid and everything else. So to resurrect a gimmick like that and have people go do some research on it, especially some hardcore wrestling fans who might not know, they might learn a thing or two. And the Dynamite Kid was a fucking phenomenal wrestler in his day, man. So watching some of his lineage go at it, I mean, I'm all about it. So I'm hoping good things come from him, man.
Before this match actually took place, Renee Paquette interviewed Chris Jericho backstage, and he gave his thoughts on tonight's match with Tommy Billington. Jericho questions Billington's right to call himself the Dynamite Kid when all he can say is he's blood related to his uncle, the original Dynamite Kid.
That was good.
Jericho said Billington isn't even good enough to be on Dynamite and hopes Hook is watching, as he's going to do to him sevenfold what he does to Billington come Wembley Stadium. And then he called, I think he called Cardiff, England.
Yeah, that keeps pissing them off.
Yeah, and everybody booed him. Brian Keith, I was going to say Keith Lee. Brian Keith stopped and said, big ass, Wembley Stadium. So he's like the ad-lib guy at the end of a sentence.
Yeah.
He tries to accentuate everything that Jericho says, or the last thing that Jericho says. Is it funny? No.
He's a hype man.
He's a hype man, yes. Hi, guys. Yeah.
Oh, God.
He didn't really do the over accentuation of the tone of his voice tonight. I actually enjoyed this promo, to be quite honest with you, because he didn't really go over the top. But I always enjoyed more sinister Chris Jericho anyway. Just me.
He's going to end up getting this fucking high guys over shit. I mean, he's going to get it over, man.
Billington showed off a little bit of his speed early on with some arm drag, shoulder tackle, body slam, going up top, missile drop kick. We go into a commercial break. Jericho slid back into the ring. He distracted Aubrey Edwards. This allowed Big Bill to post Billington into the steel post, heading into a commercial break. We come back from the break. Jericho controlled through most of the break. Things came back. Both guys collided with a double cross body block. Both guys are down. Billington was up first and strung together some offense. Jericho responded with a lion salt. He goes for a cover, and he only gets a 2 count. Reversal led to Billington. German suplex for 2. Jericho answered, sweeping the legs into a walls of Jericho. Billington got to the ropes to break the hold. He waved to the crowd to Jericho, but the delay here allowed a snap suplex and a tombstone from Billington. Going up top, Billington then connected on a dive onto Brian Keith. He worried more about Brian Keith on the outside than Chris Jericho in the ring. And then he sidestepped the charging Big Bill into the barricade. Goes back up top. Billington leapt off the top rope. Jericho was already in the ring waiting for him to come off the top rope, and he met him in the mid-air for a code breaker. 1, 2, 3, and Jericho gets the win over Tommy Billington. You know, I posted about Billington getting a contract with AEW a couple of weeks back, and I had a couple of fucking slobs on social media claim that I don't want young wrestlers to find or land a job within the industry. Imagine someone being upset that someone landed a job. It's not that was not my intent of the tweet, you fucking half-witted idiot. The only thing that I said by that, and if you fucking read the goddamn thread, a lot of people agreed with me. How many people does Tony Khan actually need on his roster outside of the people that he doesn't already fucking use? Where is Tommy Billington going to land and be most useful to Tony Khan? Ring of Honor? Is that where you're going to put him? All 7 people watching Ring of Honor. Is that going to do good for Tommy Billington? No. Where is he going to be used, Jesse? Like shows like this, or cities like this, tours like this. I call it the Mansoor effect, man. How many times did Mansoor get used during WWE during the year? Once? When was that?
Twice. He would be featured in the Go Home show prior to the, the Saudi show, and then at the Saudi show.
Exactly.
But,
so
but
is that going to be Billington? Is that going to be Billington's use here?
The fucked up part is when they use him those 2 times and they have him work. You know what I realized? The guy can fucking work.
He can work.
He can fucking go. But then they just put him back on the back burner again.
I mean, he's as vanilla as fucking Turkey Hill ice cream, but I mean, he could fucking work.
Yep.
But How am I supposed to emotionally invest in another person when we don't nearly see enough of Malachi, Buddy? Where's Miro? I'd love to know where my guy Miro is. How about Wardlow? Maybe we get Wardlow on TV. We got enough fucking resources to bring Tommy Billington into the fucking company, but I'm hearing Wardlow is ready to go. Where is he, TK?
You know, the hilarious part, didn't Will Ospreay mention tonight about how the fucking locker room is fucking overcrowded?
Yeah, he mentioned 3,000 people backstage, but you know what he did? He called me. So they're taking what I tweeted and they're making it into a line to sell an angle. That's what they're doing. Yeah, but I'm the asshole.
Yep.
When you can find a use for Tommy Billington, you let me know. I don't see him doing much of that. Where's he going to go? Is he going to be wrestling Okada for the Continental title? Is he going to be going after the TNT title? Or is he going to be stuck on fucking Ring of Honor wrestling maximum male models? What is he going to be doing?
He'll be in ROH. They need a developmental system. I mean, just tag ROH as a developmental system.
That's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what it should be.
Yeah.
Timeless Toni Storm.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
She defended the AEW Women's Championship.
Hold on, man.
I'm sorry. Get yourself ready. There you go. Timeless Toni Storm defended the AEW Women's Championship tonight against everyone's favorites, Saraya. Saraya's got a contract coming up, supposedly. It may or may not be extended for another year. We don't really know. But Saraya could be on her way out of the company if she so chooses. Or Tony Khan can be a fool and offer her an exorbitant amount of money to stay and do nothing.
One fire at a time.
I know. I'm just being open and honest with you guys. I can't really sit here and tell you that I care about Saraya. She may or may not be an influence backstage. We don't really know. Is she a knowledgeable aspect to the women's locker room? I'm sure she is. She's got a lot that she could teach the younger talent. But where is her value right now at this stage of her career? Tony clearly doesn't know what to fucking do with her. Could Triple H do better? Probably. But she's not going to be wrestling full-time if she goes to WWE. She'll probably wrestle 4 or 5 times a year. She'll get her token match against Charlotte. She'll get her token match against Tiffany Stratton. Maybe she'll wrestle a Roxanne Perez or a Becky Lynch. You know, being that she's the starter, the one woman with Emma who basically kickstarted the women's revolution of women's wrestling in WWE. I don't know. But here she is getting a championship match, Jesse. Now, we know why she got a championship match, because it's the United Kingdom. She's not getting an all-in moment. I didn't really mind that she got a championship match, but, I mean, it was very predictable, and we are all just eagerly anticipating Tony and Mariah.
Yeah, you know, look, man. So I don't have an issue with Saraya. I really don't. But I'm with you. I mean, the thing about it is nothing she's doing right now currently is getting over on television. No one can sit here and question her in-ring ability. She is probably bell to bell, when fully healthy, one of the best technical female wrestlers on the planet today. And that's my guys, the honest truth. I truly believe that. But I also believe that there is some concern about her long-term health and things like that. That's why I believe that when she did win the title, she was not very active as champion. I do believe it was a token championship because of All In last year. And then she gave it up when it was time. I believe that if she was 100% healthy and ready to go with zero concern at all, that TK would have put her out there more. I don't see why he would have signed her with all this fanfare just to keep her out there on a part-time wrestling schedule. So that's my personal take. I feel like there's some concern about having her go full-time all the time. You know, and I stand by the statement about her in-ring work. The same way for someone like Natalya Hart. You know, people give her shit because, yes, gimmick-wise and interest-wise, it's just not there. But you can't tell me there's something wrong with Natalya's in-ring work. She's probably one of the best in the world as well. So, I don't know. That's just my take on it, but I'm not sure where she goes from here, to be honest. I don't know if she goes back to the E, if they would be willing to let her go full-time either. I mean, maybe they also know the same thing that TK knows. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. She still has some value left to her, but it's dwindling as time goes on. The only reason why she was in this championship match was because it's the United Kingdom. She's done nothing to earn or deserve a championship match. The last time we saw her was anything meaningful, that is. Last time we saw her was the Owen Hart Foundation quarterfinal tournament where Mariah May beat her. That was at Forbidden Door 0 Hour. And then she went on after that to beat Nyla Rose on Rampage. That was on August 7th. So she hasn't really done much of anything. She did beat Mariah on an episode of Dynamite back in June, on June 5th. But if you're asking me what she's done to earn a championship match, the answer is jack shit. Nothing. So the only reason why she's in this is because it happened in Cardiff. Match was fine. I mean, absolutely nothing memorable by any stretch of the imagination here. Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May was always going to win, be the championship match at All In. There was zero doubt here. They even showed the graphic for that match during this match. It's like, all right, why are you showing me a graphic for a match that we know is happening on Sunday? Can you at least give me a glimmer of fucking doubt here that Toni Storm is going to lose this thing? No. Of course they didn't. So, two former Outcast members at one point or another. What a failed endeavor that was, huh? Crowd is loudly behind Toni, and she fired off some arm drags. She posed. Toni played cat and mouse, faking Saraya out by giving her her leg, and then mind games being thrown in there. Storm got a takedown. Saraya bailed to the apron. Both ladies then started screaming at each other like they were both Xena Warrior Princess. I don't know what the hell was going on here. So both ladies started screaming, and Saraya hung Storm up in the ropes. This allowed Harley Cameron to send Storm into the barricade, and Saraya followed with a somersault off the apron, and we go into a commercial break. So we come back. Storm fought back. She wound up for a home run shot. Saraya lowered her head to dodge. Storm put on the brakes, hit a DDT. Saraya avoided a Storm Zero for now with the nightcap for a near fall. Saraya brought Storm up into the corner for a sunset flip bomb, which looked a little sloppy. And then good night cradle DDT for a 2 count. She then took too long to follow up here, and Toni was able to hit a choke bomb. Harley Cameron jumped on the apron, only for Toni Storm to plant a huge kiss on her. So I'm sure all the fucking geeks and virgins on social media had a field day with this. Toni planted a kiss on Harley Cameron, and then she went to go kiss Saraya. And it followed with a Storm Zero. 1, 2, 3, and Toni retains the championship. As Storm was celebrating her victory, Mariah May came from behind and blindsided Toni with a shoe that she bloodied Storm with weeks ago. May clutched Storm's head before kissing her, and that was the way the match came to a close. So the final sell there, I don't know where we go from here. I know Jason and I talked about this on TNT last night. He tends to believe that we're going to get at least one more match, if not 2 matches out of this thing. 2 more matches, that is, on top of what we're getting at Wembley. Mariah is probably going to win the championship. I would assume she does. I think this whole feud leads to her beating Toni Storm at Wembley Stadium and her being crowned the new queen of this division. But how do you see this thing playing out, Jesse? Do you say let's keep this going, or do you do one and done at Wembley?
No. They've invested far too much into this to have it just end with one match. This will definitely be the first. And Mariah May does have to win the title at some point.
Yeah.
Toni Storm has had a phenomenal reign. I mean, probably one of the best title runs in AEW history, along with MJF's. And I say that because they have a tendency to give us a fantastic build to a title match, but then have the title run suck. But Toni Storm has been consistent, and she's been damn good. It is time to pass it on at some point, and Mariah May is definitely the one in line at this point to benefit from that. Whether or not it's right now, I'm not sure. They could switch it up. They can wait and do it the next time. Who knows? But I think the feud that they have put on over the last few months has definitely earned a big time title change in this feud. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm genuinely concerned about, and this is more on the creative end, I don't really trust anybody there because I feel like they tend to get lazy. This feud has been great, and no matter who has been involved with it, you know, where they took influence. It's been great. It's been the best women's feud in the history of AEW, with the best ending to a Dynamite, or at least one of the best endings to a Dynamite ever, and one of the best women's segments that I think I've ever seen, and easily the best women's segment that this company has ever seen, with Mariah May bloodying Tony at the end of the Owen final. That was great. But I am genuinely concerned about how this has kind of fizzled out. I think they've really stretched all they could creatively out of this. I'm not saying that there isn't more. I just think that creative in AEW has kind of spent what they wanted to here, and it's really kind of fizzled out over the last couple of weeks. There really hasn't been much of anything. We've seen a couple of post-match attacks. We've seen a pull-apart brawl. We've seen something like this where Mariah blindsides Toni Storm. I mean, there really isn't much of anything. Now, on Collision, there was a great vignette, Jesse, of Mariah May in a black and white. It was almost like a movie-esque vignette. That was fantastic. I don't know why we didn't get more of those, but I don't know where I genuinely don't know where they go coming out of All In. What is the next chapter for this feud? Does Toni start to transform herself into a darker version of herself? Does Mariah May leave her and go on to battle somebody else, and then Toni comes back around after she changes her character a little bit? I don't know. The point of the matter is, I have a difficult time trusting creative and going all in, no pun intended, on creative, when we know in the past they have dropped the ball on this type of thing. So you can't really criticize me for feeling that way, because the proof is in the pudding, and AEW has more times than not followed through with something this hot, and then it's fizzled out.
Yeah, for sure. I think an easy add-in to help it carry on would be Mina.
Yes.
I don't know how much access they have to Mina at this current time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if they have enough of her to help carry this feud out, but she is definitely an involved third party, and bringing her back into it will definitely keep it fresh. But again, I don't know how much access they have to Mina Shirakawa right now. So, if they don't, then yeah, it's just gonna take some creative writing to keep it going, because there's still meat on that bone. They just have to they just gotta flush it out.
Renee Paquette is backstage with the conglomeration, everybody's favorite group. Mark Briscoe said the word of the day is proliferated. I think that's what he said. They are in full force tonight. He's standing there with Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Tomohiro Ishii. This makes up the conglomeration.
There you go.
Kyle O'Reilly tried talking like he's British. Willow Nightingale got hyped up and walked off with her CMLL Women's Championship. O'Reilly and Briscoe, Tomohiro Ishii, and Orange Cassidy just stood there. All of these men, I don't know if Ishii's going to be in it, but O'Reilly, Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy are all in the Casino Gauntlet match on Sunday for the #1 contendership for the AEW World Championship. You know who else is in that Gauntlet match, Jesse, that got announced tonight? Our man Adam Page.
There you go.
I don't give a shit who is in it. That is your winner right there. And if he ain't, I got some serious fucking questions about this creative team.
Yep, that's done.
Should be the easiest fucking W for Adam Page ever.
Yeah, he right now, that Page is your guy.
Yeah,
he is your guy. Outside of your top targets right now, outside of your MJF and your Osprey, man, Hangman is your guy, man. He is your Stone Cold Steve Austin, right before Shawn Michaels went out with the back injury. He is your star in the fucking uprise. Keep whatever you're doing with his gimmick right now, stay the fucking course. And when you are ready to move him into the title picture, he's ready to slide right in there with this fucking gimmick, man. He is white hot right now.
he is easily, by far and away, outside MJF, and I would say Will Ospreay, the best thing about AEW television. Easy.
Yes.
So good. Speaking of Will Ospreay, he made his ring entrance, and he got the hometown reaction. Will Ospreay made his ring entrance, fans cheered, they sang his song, the energy was taken up several notches, and then MJF's theme played, and the fans erupted with boos. Ospreay laughed and clapped. He came out in a flag-themed shirt, jacket, pants, and belt, did MJF. Of course he did. He had a regular black scarf on because, I mean, he didn't want to be too over the top, I suppose. MJF hushed the crowd. He leaned into the corner and said, fans sang Olay. Excalibur says he thinks the crowd could do this all night. I wish. Ospreay asked the fans to give MJF a warm welcome. They booed him. Ospreay said it's unusual for an Englishman to get this nice reaction in Wales. He says he's been on an incredible journey, and he's driven hours to Wales and wrestles in bingo halls and church halls, and I think I may have wrestled in a bar that's filthier than the wife, he said. He said Sunday is about cleaning up the mess MJF made. He made some regional pop reference, and he mentioned some BCC show. I don't know. I don't watch British television. I don't know about British television, but it is what it is. MJF tapped the microphone, and he's checking if he could actually be heard amongst this chaos here in Cardiff. He asked if Ospreay is cleaning up his mess. Jam-packed arenas chanted my name twice as loud as they ever have yours. Fans then taunted MJF, and he yells back, or he softly says back to them, hey, I'm talking. MJF says he didn't have a flip merchant, or it didn't have to be a flip merchant, to get the crowd reaction. All he had to do was this. And he poses like the kangaroo kick. He was posing in front of everybody. You know, typical fucking garbage baby face, you know, bullshit. I mean, it was all right for what it was and what it meant to do, but I'm glad that we're beyond that. Crowd started chanting, shut the fuck up at MJF. And I love when he gets this reaction, because all he says, he looks at them and he says, no. MJF asked Ospreay if he knew he came back early before he was fully rehabbed. He said top brass at Warner Brothers and AEW begged him in order to clean up Ospreay's mess. Ospreay told him to shut up. He says they heard about this renegade pro wrestling company that put on wrestling first and catered to people who liked pro wrestling. He says they tuned in and watched him and started laughing. But the joke went on too long. He says it got away from what the foundation was. I don't really understand. Like, I'm speaking legitimately, like real talk here. I don't know what that was thrown in there to prove. I really don't. If there's one guy in this entire company, not to take anything away from, you know, an Omega, who I love, and Adam Page and Swerve, who's done a great job, and Ospreay himself, who's given that old AEW feeling, you know, back, brought it back to the company. If there's anybody in this company that is AEW and gives you the feeling of AEW, it's MJF. So I don't even know what this line meant. You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But you know these guys, man. I mean, they can take lemons, turn the shit into lemonade, man. I mean, it's let them cook. I'm assuming he was maybe referencing his babyface run, and we saw the MJF that was kind of baby facing it up, and it was kind of cringy, and people tuned in to see that, and it wasn't the MJF that we really knew before that. Maybe that's what he was talking about, but again, even then, MJF was still like the heart and soul of the fucking company. So, you know, again, it just defeats the purpose. They gotta add some fucking heat in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and to be honest, this is becoming one of those feuds where we just want to see them go. I mean, the first match they gave us was a classic. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. I mean, I personally feel like the first match they had should have been at Wembley, but that's just me. I'm sure they had a bigger plan, so let's just let it play out. Let's see it. But even still, I still can't wait to see them go again. I can't wait to see how they're gonna outdo the fucking Iron Man match that they did on TV.
It's going to be tough, but if there's two guys that could do it, it's these guys. He said it got away from what the foundation was. He said it went from the main event being an epic clash between two of the best wrestlers to be about two friends jerking each other off, didn't it? He says he wasn't even employed last year. He said Tony Khan called him. He pointed to the back and said he already had around 3,000 people signed. That's a shoot, folks. That's not just some random number he threw out there. That's a legit shoot. He says he wanted him to remind him what a professional looks like. He said he wanted Ospreay to put on a good match because he couldn't rely on his world champion to do it anymore. Ospreay said they all need some entertainment, but they are supposed to be the alternative that caters to the fans' voices. Really now? Really now? It seems like our voices are constantly shut down and we're told to change our stance on things. And in my case, change my delivery. I can't be too negative, man. I make things personal. Really?
Yeah.
Sure thing.
You gotta do it this way. That's the only way to do it.
You gotta do it boring, and you gotta do it like everybody else in the community because we need you to fall in line and be like everybody else, man. We can't have you be different. We can't have you be entertaining. You gotta be boring.
How are your impressions and numbers going there, buddy?
Who, me?
Yeah.
This is the best year I've ever had.
All right. So are they sinking and declining?
No.
So
now we've only risen.
Well.
We've only risen.
Well, you should immediately change things to change that.
I mean, I could list a ton of creators who you guys want me to be like. Would you like me to do that? I mean, are you not entertained?
I don't suggest it.
No,
personally.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm already in enough hot water. He said he wanted him to remind him what a professional looks like. Ospreay says all they need is entertainment, but they are supposed to be the alternative that caters to the fans' voices. He says he wants to restore the feeling, and bruv, I am the feeling. MJF said, you hear that? He's the feeling. Fans started to sing Ole again. MJF says he got one thing right, which is that he doesn't care about catering to these people. He says they are meaningless. He said all he cares about is what Americans do best. We win. He says he actually believed it when the four-eyed, curly-haired dork, Tony Khan, told him the company would be in good hands with Ospreay. He asked who he is. He says they only know who Ospreay is because you're red-coated terrorists, he says. He said everyone knows who MJF is, and everybody loves him. He said wrestling analysts and pundits, podcasters, champions, and legends all agree that he's the best pro wrestler on God's green earth. He asked Ospreay who told him he is the best in the world. And then MJF starts laughing, and he points to the fans, and he asks if he thinks these fans' opinions really count. That is so sad. He says they know nothing about pro wrestling because they like his matches. He stood face-to-face with Ospreay, and he told him that he can be the feeling because Friedman is the facts. MJF said the fact is he's the youngest and longest reigning AEW world champion of all time. Said he headlined and won the biggest show of all time. He says when they talk about this generation, he'll be the face and Ospreay will be second place. Says he hails from the only country that matters, the USA. And Ospreay has one move in the chamber that can beat him. And he said the matter of fact is he isn't man enough to pull the trigger on the Tiger Driver. Ospreay looked away. MJF said fans can feel all they want, but he's the fact, and facts don't care about feelings. That was all great by MJF. I loved everything he said there. Ospreay said history books can be rewritten, but what can't be rewritten is how people feel. He told MJF he's never inspired a single person to wrestle. He says if you go around Europe or Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and America, and they will say he is the best in the world. Fans again sang Ole. He says he can't lose in front of his family. He said MJF doesn't like him because it took 4 years for the fans to love him, whereas it took him 4 beats of his music to win them over. You let everyone down. They used to love you, and they don't love you anymore. All of a sudden, MJF blurted out with this angry tone, they loved me until you showed up and ruined it.
Uh-oh.
Now, that was the most important line in the entire thing. That line right there. So,
why are they fighting? Here you go.
Boom. MJF, he regained his composure. Excalibur even said, MJF just said the quiet part out loud. MJF regained his composure. He says, he can never be who Ospreay is. A great human being, inside and outside the ring, a role model to fans all over the world. He said, he's a great husband, a father, a pro wrestler. In every way, I fell short to be the face of AEW. You manned up and did it. Congratulations. He said before the show, he got to spend a little time with Ospreay's wife and that so-called kid of yours.
Oh, boy.
Ospreay obviously started to get a little angry here, approached him, got a little closer to MJF. MJF told him, listen, calm down, I'm putting you over. He said Ospreay raised that kid like he was his own, which is admirable. After the conversation I had with your wife tonight, I have a feeling the next kid she has won't be yours either.
Oh, man. What a dick, dude.
Oh, man. Listen, man. If Ospreay got him angry with that last line, man, about people not loving him anymore and MJF got angry, man, he goes below the belt, man. He knows when to go below the belt, and that was great.
Man.
Ospreay, he leaned over the top rope and looked at Tony Schiavone and asked if he had Tony Khan in his ear right now. Schiavone said yes. Ospreay asked what the fine would be if I shot on MJF right now. Schiavone said it would be 100,000 pounds, which would translate to 127,000 American dollars. MJF smiled and taunted Ospreay. Ospreay said his son is worth it, and he attacked MJF. Security entered and tried to rip them apart. MJF did manage to get a cheap shot on Ospreay as security was holding him back, and he nailed him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, busted him open. He then delivered a brainbuster suplex and then covered him, and a mock 3 count happened with MJF's own hand making the 3. He then set up a Tiger Driver, but security intervened, and Christopher Daniels was in there as well, and finally broke these guys up. This was great television. Excellent television. This, I usually say, we all love MJF here. I mean, it's no fucking secret. Legitimately the top. That he's the fucking ace no matter what. If it was a number 1 draft pick I had to choose in this industry and I had a roster to build, he's number 1 all day long, no matter what. But when you got someone like him who's so good at what he does, and then you get Ospreay and you get this crowd and you get this environment, there is nobody better. There is no company better when they put segments on like this. This is true AEW right here. This is exactly what we all fell in love with in the early stages of this company's existence. This segment right here. This was so fucking good. I felt like out of everything we've seen so far in pro wrestling, as a final build to something, this was one of the best final sells for any match all year long that you will see in pro wrestling. This actually made this match to me bigger than Bryan and Swerve. The sell for this match was bigger to me than Swerve and Bryan. That's how great this was. Kudos to both guys. And if there's 2 guys that are going to fucking tear the house down on Sunday night and 2 guys that are going to blow away what they did for 60 minutes a couple of weeks back, it's going to be these 2 guys. And I'm predicting that they actually have a better match on pay-per-view than they did on Dynamite. That's my prediction.
Yeah, so you got MJF going around talking about how TK begged him to come back early from his injury, which
I would not be shocked that's the case.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Flat out shoot. I feel like that's a fucking shoot, man. But one would ask, well, you're such a dick. Why in the hell would you come back if you knew you needed more time and everything else? Why? In one quick sentence, MJF explained it, because they loved me until you fucking showed up. Boom. That just justifies all of the fucking trolling that MJF is doing. That justifies all of the fucking hatred he has for Will Ospreay, because he's flat out jealous of the excitement, of the attention and everything that he's getting from the fans. That stuff that he used to get, Ospreay is getting it at a much larger scale, and MJF is pissed. He's jealous, and that's why he came back early. Sometimes the simple things just fucking work.
This was great. Absolutely one of the best segments of the entire year for AEW. One of the best face-to-face promos that you'll see in wrestling all year, and they both killed it. This is, to me, the real main event of Wembley Stadium. It's the people's main event. Love Bryan to death. One of my favorites of all time. Him and Swerve are going to fucking kill it. But if you're asking me what match I am most excited about, it's these 2 guys right here.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, to jump ahead, the segment that Bryan and Swerve had tonight was also pretty damn good.
Yeah.
nothing beats a nice, passionate Bryan Danielson promo.
No, man. When Bryan starts throwing around the F-bomb, man, you know it's fucking good.
It's on. It's fucking real, man. So I can't wait for that match either at this point.
Hangman Page, he was about to leave the arena. Or I guess Renee said he was asked to leave the arena. She asked him what happened. Hangman said he'll be in the Casino Battle Royal at All In. Or the Casino Gauntlet match, rather. Not the Battle Royal, the Gauntlet match. Yeah. He says, if you stand in his way, he'll run you over. All of a sudden, we see Evil Uno walking in the background while Renee is interviewing Page. Hangman sees him and asked him if he was in the match. And Evil Uno said, well, yes, I'm excited to be in the Gauntlet match. Evil Uno will be in the Gauntlet match. Now, Adam Page says no matter who is in his way, he's going to take them out. Now, obviously, you know the history between Hangman and the Dark Order. But he took a chair and he blasted Evil Uno in the back with it and said there is nothing he wants more than to make his joy and happiness and hopes go up in smoke. Now, he, again, refuses to mention Swerve by name, but we all know he's talking about Swerve. It's just the little details there about Hangman and his just absolute hatred for Swerve Strickland. That he hasn't even mentioned his fucking name since he's been back on television. Love it. And I don't know why Evil Uno is in this match. I mean, I don't know what Evil Uno and World Championship have to do with each other, but I guess. No. Let
me pause you right there. This is fucking good. This is gonna help get Hangman's gimmick over as being even more of a dick at times and show how fucking focused he is. He loves the fucking Dark Order. He's always loved Uno. So they're going to make sure that right now they separate that fucking Hangman from the Hangman we're getting right now. Right now, he doesn't give a fuck about the Dark Order or Uno. And when I saw him walk by in the frame, I saw him and I said, this is not going to end well for Uno. I knew it right away. And then he came back like, here we go. He's fucked. And sure as shit, man, I thought this was fantastic. Uno serves no purpose in the match as far as the title goes, but he serves a fantastic purpose at moving forward Hangman's character right now. I actually like this.
Adam Page should absolutely, no doubt about it, slam dunk win the Gauntlet match at All In. And I said this with Jason on TNT last night for episode 62. I don't know how many people are in this thing. I wish AEW would give us like a set rule. I don't want to know who's in it. I like the surprise of it. I like the element of surprise. But give me a number of participants in this thing. It almost comes off like a battle royal or Royal Rumble of sorts in this case, because there's a countdown timer and there's intervals in between everybody coming on out. How many people are in this thing? That's what I want to know.
I'm not even sure.
Maybe they don't want you to know.
Is there a set number every time that they do it?
I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. But Orange Cassidy drew number one. And in this case, the number one position is the best position because the match can end before all the guys actually make it out to the match. So Orange Cassidy, I don't know what the number is, but for example, if the number is 15 and Orange Cassidy wins before the fucking ninth guy comes out, the rest of the fucking field that's supposed to be out there gets screwed. So that's the way that they're doing it. Orange Cassidy won a match on Dynamite, and he's got the pole position here. He's got the number one position. So I'm expecting Ricochet, just a prediction here, Ricochet to show up in this match to wow us. I'm expecting Mustafa Ali in this thing as well. Tony Khan said there's going to be some surprises. I would expect surprises like that. Who else knows who he's got in mind? But I'm looking forward to this thing, man. The element of surprise has really got me excited about this.
Cardona?
Could see it.
Maybe Cardona out there, maybe?
Could see it. No, Omos is not going to be in the Gauntlet match, no. Jay White's another one. He's set to return very soon. Adam Cole could be back. We don't know when he's coming back, but there was a news article last night on TNT about Adam Cole being ready to come back very soon. So we will see. Bobby Lashley is another one. He's a free agent. We could see Bobby Lashley in the Battle Royal or the Gauntlet match, rather.
Don't forget, guys. Everyone that you're fantasy booking to be in that match are all supposed to lose to Hangman. So
yeah,
you gotta watch who you bring back or debut in that match.
Yeah. As long as they don't get pinned, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know? Not gonna have Adam Page pin Ricochet. Doesn't matter if he's in the match and he doesn't get pinned, that doesn't really matter.
Is it one pinfall or
no, it's one pinfall. It's one pinfall.
One pinfall, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of pinfalls, we got no pinfalls in this match because it went to a time limit draw. Kazuchika Okada and Claudio Castagnoli for the Continental Championship. Now, I was looking forward to this. I heard some people on social media who were actually at the taping that live in the area or traveled to the area said that this was a very good match before we even got to Dynamite tonight here on the East Coast. And they delivered. The thing is, Jesse, with this match, I feel like there was so much still left to give from these two guys. And I don't even think we got half of the pizza pie between these two guys, man. They got so much more to give us still. I thought they actually took it easy, man. I don't really think they took it into overdrive. I think they casually were driving in the right lane going at 10 miles under the speed limit here, man. It was good for what it was. It was a nice experience, nice and safe, but they didn't really go too crazy here.
Yeah, so remember when they would do a time limit draw, and then people would complain and say, "Oh man, we don't like time limit draws," and then we would say, "Well, they don't do them very often, so it's not a big deal." Okay, I think they're starting to do them a little bit too often now.
Yeah, this is like the third time limit draw in 6 weeks or so, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, and they should be very few and in between.
Yeah, listen, I said this on social media. You know, AEW and Tony Khan do not book with the DQ in mind. I mean, I could probably count on one hand how many DQs we've gotten in AEW. And the Continental Classic with the Continental rules, which are fucking stupid, by the way. I wish they would abolish them. Apparently, there are no outside interferences when it comes to the Continental Championship. It's great. But then you run into a situation like this. You're actively omitting a possible outcome and then serving up another time limit draw on top of several that we've already seen this summer alone. So I don't know why that's a ruling here. To me, I always thought the Continental ruling was ridiculous. Oh, there's no outside interference. Yeah, that's great. If you want no outside interference, you're the fucking guy with the pen. You book this shit. Just book no outside interference. So when you do need one, it actually could benefit the match itself instead of, hey, man, we are either going to go to a time limit draw or we're going to beat one of these guys that we really shouldn't be beating.
Right.
You know? It opens up it opens up the booking scenarios a little bit more. I don't like the Continental Championship ruling. I don't. And that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, if we can remember exactly when we just saw time limit draw, then this probably happened a little bit too. I don't want them to lean on it a little bit too much. Just don't book those matches. If you're already wondering how you're going to get out of booking the match, it's probably a match that shouldn't have been booked. I mean, it's too many time limit draws. This should be the last one we see for quite some time now.
I agree. This was very good for what it was. I thought this was going to be the main event, but it was not. Bell sounded. Crowd started chanting, "Holy shit," as each man backed each other to the ropes. And they did a clean break with Okada kind of trolling Claudio. Both men traded finisher attempts. They did not hit their finishers, obviously. This led to a stalemate, and there was a feeling out process here. We go to a commercial break. We come back from the break. Both men traded suplex attempts, ending with Claudio deadlift vertical suplexing Okada. Uppercuts. Claudio spun around, and he hits a home run uppercut on Okada, and then Okada fights out of a giant swing attempt. This resulted in a full-speed uppercut from Claudio. We go to another exchange. Okada responded with a DDT and a neckbreaker. He took a little bit too long to follow up as Claudio clotheslined him to the outside and tumbled out to the floor with him. Okada posted Claudio, and we go into another commercial break. Claudio hit a gut-wrench slam in the middle of the ring, double stomp for a near fall. Claudio then goes to the top rope. He's climbing up very gingerly. Okada hit his signature dropkick, sending Claudio out to the floor. Okada quickly brought it back into the ring. He wanted his top rope elbow drop, but Claudio cut him off with some uppercuts. Claudio then wanted a superplex off the top. Okada hit a headbutt and a big dropkick before finally hitting the elbow drop. He did the Rainmaker pose and then flipped off everybody in Cardiff with the middle finger. So Claudio eventually hits a 20 Revolution Giant swing. Claudio got a running start. Okada cut him off with a beautiful dropkick. Picture-perfect dropkick is Okada's. He went Always. He went for a Rainmaker. Claudio ducked. He hit a springboard uppercut. Went for the neutralizer, only for Okada to counter into an air raid crash neckbreaker. So then we get the ring announcer, and he says there's 1 minute remaining. At this point, I wasn't even concentrating on the fucking time limit, to be quite honest with you. But no. you made a very good point, Jesse, because before the women's match with the ring announcement, before the championship introductions, what was the time limit for Toni Storm and Saraya earlier in the night?
It was a 1 hour time limit.
Why did that match get 1 hour, but we only got 20 minutes here?
No clue.
Kind of illogical, huh?
Very much so, yes.
I don't get it. You would think that would be the other way around, but I guess we needed a non-finish here so that we could potentially book this at a later date. I get it, but it still doesn't really make a lot of sense.
They just could have easily sold the women. They had 20 minutes as well.
Yeah, could have.
The match didn't go 20 minutes, did it?
I guess those little details slipped through the cracks. I have no fucking clue. We got 1 minute here. They start throwing uppercuts. The crowd started really getting into it. Claudio ducked a Rainmaker, hit a massive pop-up uppercut. Okada clutched onto the ropes. Claudio hits a double stomp for 2. Okada tried to escape again, but this time, the time ran out. So all of a sudden, crowd wants 5 more minutes. The Young Bucks and Jack Perry walked out to the stage, saying the match was phenomenal. Now, I wouldn't go call it phenomenal, but was it very good? Yes, it was, because neither of these guys ever have bad matches. Matt asked the crowd if they wanted 5 more minutes. He said, unfortunately, that's not going to happen, as the contract said Okada had to wrestle 20, not 25, and as EVPs, they're sticklers for the rules. They told Claudio, better luck next time. Get out of the ring, as if he doesn't, they'll have to remove him. Darby and FTR made their entrances, and it's time for the main event of the evening, which was a 6-man tag team match. Darby and FTR against Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. Now, Okada and Claudio. I said this on social media. All right, we got the 20-minute time limit. I find it very bizarre that what is your probably, I would say, not probably, what is definitely your highest paid talent in Okada, not on the Wembley show, defending the Continental title. It's a little bizarre. But then I think, gee, they got this show 2 weeks after All In called All Out. If they don't do it there, maybe they do it at All Out. And I said during the predictions portion of TNT last night, while Salamonster and I were going over the All In card, there was a wild card team that is yet to be announced for this London ladder match for the Trios Championships. It could be Top Flight, it could be Private Party and unnamed talent, or it could be the Blackpool Combat Club, which apparently, Jesse, on Collision, they will battle Top Flight and Leo Rush for the spot in this ladder match. And Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac will be a part of this match. What do you think of that? I didn't really see Pac getting in on the All-In card teaming with the Blackpool Combat Club. The last time he had anything to do with the Blackpool Combat Club, I believe, was last year's Blood and Guts match. But all of a sudden now he's finding his way onto Wembley with the Blackpool Combat Club. I don't mind it, but it is kind of an oddball pairing.
I just want things to make sense.
Yeah.
I just want things to make sense. That's all. Am I unhappy that Pac is on the card? Fuck no. Any card that he's on is better. It's great. Can they just make it make sense? That's all I really wanted. I mean, he just kind of shoehorned in. That's all.
Pac in a ladder match. I'm sure he's going to have a Wembley moment. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he deserves one. The guy should be on TV much more than he is. I feel like there's something going on with his availability, his travel. I don't know. I'm unaware. But I feel like he should be on TV significantly more than he is. And I don't know why that is not happening.
What I don't understand is how Claudio puts all his focus on the Continental Championship, and then all of a sudden they move him onto a match on Saturday night to fight for the right for another championship. It's almost like, where did this come from? But you don't want me to say anything about that because it throws a wrench into you liking the match or liking what they're doing. It doesn't make any sense. He's going all in on the Continental title, and then you're going to put him in a Trios Championship match? Why? Have they done anything Trios Championship related?
No.
We're just handing out title matches and getting everybody on the card for the sake of getting everybody on the card.
Yeah.
I've complained about that with WWE when Vince ran fucking 14 matches on WrestleMania. Not everybody has to be on the fucking show. The show should be special. If you're not in anything and you're not on the show, maybe next year you'll get on the show. Leave the show special enough for people to want to be a part of it. If you put everybody on it, how coveted are those spots on the show? That's my mentality. And that's what I loved about TakeOver. You never saw 14 matches on TakeOver. Everybody busted their ass to get on TakeOver. And it was only 5 matches, 6 times a year.
Yeah. Didn't we just see something similar to that with the women and Hikaru Shida getting a title match?
Yeah, she wrestled Mercedes last week.
After she just lost to Britt Baker, right?
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. 6-man tag team match here. Darby Allin on FTR against Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. Oh, boy, man. Our favorite guy in the whole wide world, Jesse. Dax Harwood here, man. Dax. He calls
Shout out to Cash Wheeler, by the way.
We love Cash. He's never on social media, so he probably is oblivious to all that happened on social media. Dax caused a shitstorm on social media this week. And if you guys want to know what was said, I have it queued up right here because we're going to talk about it. Now, the most irrelevant and most uninspired failure in the entire community who thinks he's bigger than he really is. He has no influence in any sense of the word. He only tag teamed with Dax for a fucking show that ultimately failed. And he's had 7 or 8 different failures of a podcast. Matt Kuhn. He says this, who, by the way, had me blocked, and I don't give a shit what I say here. He had me blocked and then unblocked me. And the reason why he blocked me is because my guy, Mr. Baydala, told him to block me. So
why don't you just block him?
I just did. And then I saw today that he screenshotted that I blocked him. So I know he's a stalker, and I know he's looking at my page when he doesn't really have to. He's obsessed with me. He's one of these weirdos that is obsessed with me.
People that go around checking Twitter fucking timelines of people who have them blocked for specific reasons need to fucking get over it. Stop worrying about what other people are fucking doing.
So I was working with Drew, and I called this guy out on something, and Drew is going to tell me, you know, stop, you don't need to do that. But I always try to defend myself in whatever I talk about because I actually have been very tame with what I've said. I've only talked about what I like and what I don't like on the show, and I keep it at that specifically. So I'm watching Collision with Jesse, not obviously together in the same place, but we're going back and forth via text. Saturday night, I took in Sassy, who is the foster kitten, the mother of these 3 beautiful baby kittens. I took them in this past weekend.
Gorgeous, opposite of Larry.
Yes. I was setting their room up and getting their room up. While I was doing this, I was watching Collision at the same time on my iPad. So everybody's like, oh, JD didn't watch Collision. Matt Kuhn, the fucking slob that he is. JD didn't watch Collision. Yeah, bitch, I did, because I was setting up a foster room for 4 fucking kittens. I was watching it at the same time with my buddy here. So he says this in regards to my tweet, because Jesse and I watched the tag team match, and leading into the tag team match, there's been no story. The Elite story's been fucking a failure. There's no direction. There's no end goal. They all have these titles, and I don't know where it's going. Acclaimed has fallen off a fucking cliff. FTR, what they're doing in the tag team title hunt when they haven't sniffed tag team titles since last year. What is the story? Where is it going? I feel zero emotion towards this. I say this on social media. The most heatless tag team title match in company history. FTR only exists to feud with the Bucks, which is something that Jesse has uttered over the last 5 years. Acclaimed is ice cold, lazy booking. Division is a shell of its former self. Now, where exactly did I go off the rails and just blast any of these performers in this tweet, Jesse? Do you see me at all talking about the match in this tweet?
Well, let me see. So you in that tweet, you said that Dax can't wrestle. Is that what you said in the tweet?
I did not say anything about Dax's wrestling ability. In fact, if you want to really put a little asterisk next to that statement, the one media scrum I was at where Dax and Cash were a part of it, I actually called Dax Wrestler of the Year at the time because of his great in-ring work. But I remember that. So against FTR.
I remember that. I remember you were at the scrum and you literally said that Dax should qualify.
Yes.
For being Wrestler of the Year for the run that I remember that.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing. That tells me that you actually appreciate his work, right?
I love Dax's singles work. I love his tag team work. FTR, I've never said an ill-advised thing about FTR since I first saw them on NXT Black and Gold.
Well, now, since the guy that you have overly praised over pretty much his whole career, since you had an issue with how Creative was treating him, how did he go about appreciating what you had to say? What did he say?
Well, Matt Kuhn, obviously Dax saw this because his old podcast partner, Matt Kuhn, tweeted, and he quote tweeted me. You know, Matt Kuhn, who doesn't like anything I say, but somehow sees my tweets and then
those people are weird.
Feels the need to say something. Matt Kuhn, the fucking fat slob that he is. Imagine watching this amazing match and being so desperate for outrage and nitpicking for clicks, attention, and attempted connections. This is your takeaway. The disrespect for the performers, the distance from actual reality is telling. Heatless, brainless take. Wow. You got all that from something that I've basically been saying about both WWE and AEW tag team divisions. How the fuck did you come to that conclusion? I have a disrespect for the performers? Where?
The awesome part is he accuses you of doing something for clicks, but yet he is paying so much attention to what you are saying, someone that he doesn't like. Why? I
am doing everything I can for clicks, attention, and attempted connections. Meanwhile, Matt Kuhn, the fucking fat slob, fail music fucking teacher that he is, he's using me to generate clicks and views on X. And if you go to his Twitter page, the one thing that stands out amongst anything else is when he tweets to me or about me, it's the most viewed thing on his entire fucking wall. So what are you doing, Matt? Are you calling me out, blasting me for clicks and views, or are you actually using me for clicks and views on your end? Which is it?
Projecting?
Which is it?
Projecting.
That goes along with anybody else. You put my name in any tweet on social media and then you go to their wall, I guarantee you 10 times out of 10, the most viewed tweet on their entire X wall is with me in it. Why is that? Because you all can't fucking stand when I sit here and I give you brutal honesty, or when Jesse sits here and gives you brutal honesty. Nobody wants an honest take anymore. They only want you to fucking follow the way that everybody else is doing. So Dax sees this, and his classy and professional reply to this was, and I quote, I had a whole response written out, but decided to go with he's a dumb son of a bitch. After we broke our bodies for 30 minutes, only to give the fans a match they'd remember, this idiot decides to tweet buzzwords he's heard from people who actually mean something in this business. I don't really get what he's saying there. Tweet buzzwords he's heard from people who actually mean something in this business? What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't take anything that I said there and take it from somebody else. My thoughts are my thoughts alone.
Did you say he wasted his 30 minutes and the match sucked?
Dax, I'd love to know where in that tweet I said you wrestled for 30 minutes and an absolutely fucking blue dick. Which one was it? Did it suck? Did it say, oh man, I think Dax and FTR had a terrible match with the Acclaimed on Collision? Where does it say that in my tweet?
No, but you didn't say what you meant to say the way that other people want you to say it. Is that where he's going with it?
I don't know where you got for 30 minutes. I didn't appreciate you breaking your body. I I don't know who he thinks he's replying to, because his buddy Slob Kuhn here is projecting this fucking negativity towards me to rile up the fan base. I don't really understand. Do you realize that I critiqued a creative decision that you have absolutely nothing to do with? That's what I'm doing here. So by Dax's standards, Jesse, I should not have said anything, or I should have praised it and be fake, because if this was, say, the instance where the Usos shaved Dax's back in the fucking men's shower on Monday Night Raw all those years ago, according to Dax's logic, I should have went on social media and praised that segment because he broke his body for 30 minutes in a wrestling match 2 weeks prior to that.
Didn't go there.
Or should I say, hey, man, this shit fucking sucks. Do better. I don't get this.
And that's a fantastic point. I want to know where these guys are when you are there and you are here and you're telling people that Dax should be in the discussion for Wrestler of the Year. FTR had a phenomenal match. This was great. Love this. Hey, I don't like how they're being booked right here. That guy, I had a whole fucking thing written out. That guy needs to shut up. I don't like what he's saying. How about you keep that same energy when we put you over, which is what we do most of the fucking time. And if you got something that you don't like, at least address it correctly. No one said anything about the way you worked in the ring for the last half hour. No one does not appreciate. Every man and woman who gets in that fucking ring breaks their fucking bodies. You are no fucking exception. All right? If creative sucked, the creative sucked. All right? If you don't like the creative, then go fucking say something to creative. If you love the creative, then I'm sorry, take the criticism that you're going to fucking get when someone does not like the creative. But God forbid, you hear something you don't like, you have plenty to say. How about here's my fucking problem right now. Not every fucking body follows or listens to this show, but plenty of people will see a Dax Hardwood tweet. So if they see his tweet and all they see is his tweets and all they see is him complaining about this show, one would think out of context without fucking watching that we hate FTR, which is far from the fucking truth. So how about hey, thanks for the shout out. I'm glad you guys liked the match. Appreciate it. Now, do we expect that? No, you don't have to say shit. You don't say shit when we put you over, so how about you don't say shit if we say something that you don't like at the same fucking time? Keep the same energy both fucking ways. Say nothing or say every fucking thing. It's misleading, and that's the part that I don't fucking like about it.
For years, I've praised both of these guys, Dax and Cash. For years, I praised the Toronto match with DIY as being the single greatest tag team match of all time. Anytime it's raised in a discussion, whether it's in person or on social media, I always call back to those four men. I've never said a fucking thing negative about FTR ever since I first saw them on WWE television. Through their matches with American Alpha and DIY and whoever else they battled up and down NXT, all the way to the main roster, even through their darkest days where there were rumors going around where they were going to be made into court jesters by Vince McMahon. I back these fucking guys up time after time after time. And this is the respect that I get because people want to take what I say and blow it so fucking out of proportion that I'm made to look like the bad guy who spews nothing but negativity. Meanwhile, I've been the same fucking way for 8 years on this very show. And this man sitting next to me can attest that I've toned down my style so much than I was years ago to where I am now. The things that I used to say, I no longer say. And the things that I used to say, no longer I can say on this show. I've turned over a new leaf. I'm more in the creative aspect of the show, but I want to maintain at the same time my integrity and my open and honest nature with you guys. Otherwise, what am I and who am I? I'd become like everybody else in the fucking community. All I heard coming out of this fucking situation was my delivery is what people have a problem with, or you make things personal. Really now? I make things personal in what way? Because I say something sucks? All because I don't sit on this show and wear a fucking fancy suit and tie, and I don't talk like I got a fucking cock jammed up my ass, begging for a fucking media credentials. That's not what I do. I come from a fan's perspective. And if you don't appreciate my open and honest nature, and you don't appreciate Jesse's fan criticism, because we've been sitting here for the last 5 fucking years watching this show, giving you every fucking piece of what we think, whether it's good or bad, if you don't appreciate that and you correlate that to thinking we hate, where the fuck were you people when I did the same thing for WWE? Then I talk good about AEW. Now WWE is putting on better television, and AEW is not. What would you like me to do? Lie? Is that what you want me to do?
Yes. I think that's exactly what they fucking want you to do. Because when this company started and we were putting it over and everyone had a fucking problem with it and everyone hated it, that the fact that they existed, we were sitting here fucking riding with them. We had we love it. It's different. We love it. All the WWE fucking stands couldn't wait to jump down our fucking throats. And we defended this fucking company. And I still do. I'll admit that it's not as good as it used to be, but I'm still going to defend it because I do like the company and I enjoyed it there. I appreciate that they exist. I do. And that's what I always fucking tell people. But I'm sorry if we saw something that we didn't like, and then we didn't express that the way that you would like us to. When this guy right here next to me says something that I believe is out of pocket, no one is on him faster than me. No one is texting him or calling him faster than fucking me. So if there's something not right, I'm not going to sit here and just kiss his ass. I'm going to say, bro, I don't fucking agree with that. And sometimes he'll tell me, yeah, maybe I went too far. There's times he'll tell me, fuck that, I don't care, I'm going to stick with it. It's up to fucking him. But to sit here and say that he needs to change his fucking delivery tells me that people need to just pull up their fucking big boy pants and quit fucking bitching and crying. I'm sorry. You don't like the way that he's sounding when he talks. Get fucking over it, bro. Either don't care, or if you care so much about what we say, then change what you do. Change the creative, or change whatever it is we're complaining about. Now, don't fucking change for us, because if you don't care, and you shouldn't, then stop paying us fucking attention. All right? It's just that fucking simple. You can't go around and make people act the way that you want them to because your feelings get fucking hurt. That's just not how it's going to fucking work.
You know, for a show and a creator that everybody seemingly can't stand, everybody seemingly is all over everything I do and what I say, no matter what. If you didn't like me, what the fuck are you doing here? What are you doing here? That's what I want to know. This is the biggest year that I've ever had, ever. Yet you want me to change my fucking delivery on how I speak, how I accentuate things, and how I go about describing what I liked and what I didn't like. Yeah, so you want me to not be me. Yeah, let's be boring. Half of the fucking creators in this space don't know what it takes to be a creator. You people don't get what I put into this fucking channel the way you see it now. You think what I do and what I come off doing for you guys is fucking cheap? Jesse knows what DV8 costs. He asked.
It costs a lot of fucking money.
You think this is fucking cheap? You think I am a grifter? I only do this for clicks and likes? Motherfucker, if I told you exactly what that Mustang intro cost, it would be fucking blowing your fucking mind. And I don't even give a shit who is listening to me. The intro that you guys are seeing cost me $30,000 fucking dollars to get done. Do you know why I did it? Because I love creating content. Because I want to show everybody this is how you do content creation in the pro wrestling space. This is why I'm better than everybody else who sits there with their fucking suit and tie and their floofy fucking opinions and walk the company line and don't give any real criticism. I want to change that. You people sit there and you watch all these fucking hacks in the community, and they aren't fucking a tenth of what I do here. You're lucky you have someone like me who is as open, honest, and unadulterated honest with you people like me, because who else is doing it? Solomonster's the only fucking one. BC is another one. That's it. Yet I'm the fucking problem. Dax thinks I'm the problem. The AEW fans think I'm the fucking problem. I'm not booking the show, motherfucker. Tony Khan's booking the fucking show. Dax has a problem with me saying the tag team division isn't the same. Take it up with him, because it's not. A fucking fan of this goddamn place knows it's not the fucking same. The only teams in the division are the teams in this fucking match on Sunday night. Am I wrong? Yet that tweet got blown out of proportion, and I need to change the way I fucking operate and do things here. Meanwhile, this is the biggest year of the show ever, but I'm doing wrong. You don't like what I have to say and how I say, you can suck my dick. I don't care. You want fucking half-ass floofy opinions? I could give you a laundry list of people to go watch. And I'll tell you this, because I love fucking stroking my own ego. My SummerSlam review, one fucking video did more views, that video, than the entire month of fucking Fightful. Yet I'm the fucking problem, and I need to change my shit, right? Give me a fucking break.
Change. You are too successful. Change. That's not how this works. It's not how this works. Guys, nobody's perfect. And I understand that, that he rubs people the wrong way. He rubs me the wrong way sometimes, bro. I mean, it is what it is. And when he gets himself into bullshit that he got himself into, a lot of the times I would just, hey, that's on him, man. I'm not going to comment either way. But sometimes, dude, I mean, guys, a broken clock is right twice a day. I mean, you guys are really fucking harsh in that locker room and in the IWC about what this guy says, how he says it, this, that. And I'll admit, again, don't get me wrong, bro. I know he can rub people the wrong fucking way. I get it. So, I mean, that's on him. That's on him. I'm on him constantly about the fucking, who's the guy that you fucking hate? Satin. I'm always, look, drop it, leave it, this, that. No, he fucking hates the guy. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. All right? I'm not going to sit here and take up fucking every fight of his. That's on him. But this shit is fucking wrong. We come here and we give our thoughts and opinions about what we see on the show. You don't have to fucking watch it. But why would you come here and try to make us change it? You want us to say something differently, do something differently in the ring, or do something differently in creative. Don't do what you want to do and then come here and watch us and then complain about what we have to fucking say about it. We should not matter in regards to what you fucking do or think. Pay us no fucking attention. 14 million podcasters out there. Why are you worried about what's said on this show? Why does it bother you
Jim
so
Cornette has
much?
said the same thing about the tag team division. Has Dax gone and talked to Jim Cornette about his fucking opinion? Because if you listen to Jim Cornette, the negativity about AEW is fucking tenfold over there compared to what we do. At least we fucking call out the good. They don't call out the good. They got a whole fucking segment dedicated to making fun of quarter-by-quarter ratings. Bully Ray calls them out for the shit that they do. Are you calling in on Busted Open Radio blasting Bully Ray for the fucking opinions he put on social media? I don't get it. Do I need to be a Michelin 5-star chef to know, or actually, let me rephrase that. Can I go to a fucking restaurant if I'm not a chef and decipher if it's good food or bad food? Really?
No.
Do I need to be a fucking baseball player to understand that a bad play is a bad play? Or can I see from my own two eyes? Why can't I do the same thing for pro wrestling? Why?
We watch wrestlers get on Twitter all the fucking time and complain about the services of the airline they flew on. Do you know how to fly a fucking plane? Do you know how to run a customer service industry? You don't? Well, you don't have the right to complain about it, right? Well, that's fucking bullshit. You do have the right to complain because you know what good service is. You ever watched a bad movie? You can't call it bad if you've never produced a fucking movie, right? Oh, you've been watching movies long enough to know what a bad movie is. So if someone came to you, well, you don't know how to make a movie, you don't know what a bad movie is, you would look at them like they're fucking crazy.
What a terrible argument. Such a retarded argument. How? Why would you even bring that to an argument with somebody? It's so fucking stupid. Why do I need to be a pro wrestler to decipher a good match and a bad match? You fucking kidding me? I call pro wrestling. I've been doing it for 5 years. You don't think I know a good match from a bad match or a botch from a non-botch? What are you, stupid?
We don't know what we're talking about, but yet, when we praised this show up and down, the attendance was much higher. The buzz around the company was great. Now that we're not speaking as high as we used to about it, guess what? Those numbers are all down, aren't they? Is it because of us, or is it just us calling what we see? Maybe we are the voice of the people who, instead of complaining about it, you know what they did? They turned off the fucking television. They stopped buying tickets. But the people who stay and give their opinions about it, this is how you fucking treat them.
Bro, Wembley last year did 81,000. This year, they just hit 50 according to WrestleTix. That's fine. That's fine for what? 50,000 is nothing to fucking laugh at. But it's still still a 30,000 decrease from what they did 1 year ago. You want to deep dive into this a little bit further. Grand Slam 3 years ago did 21,000 people in Arthur Ashe Stadium right here in Queens. This year, they don't even have the place set up for 5,000 people. Am I the problem? Am I the problem, or is the company the problem that they can't fucking come anywhere close to what they did fucking 12 months ago? Yet I'm the problem. Jesse's the problem. Me calling out the fucking dead tag team division is the fucking problem.
And by the way, don't worry, AEW. Your DMs are safe. We're not going to throw that shit out and put it on the spot. But we're not the only ones that are not happy with what's going on. Take a look around in your fucking locker room, because we have DMs to prove that we are not the only ones not liking this shit.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable how people just interpret what we do here as negativity and hate. Meanwhile, everybody wants to pretend like it's sunshine and rainbows all over AEW. You think a fucking stadium show is going to save them from the obvious problems that they are doing everything to ignore? You think Wembley for 50,000 is going to wipe their problems away the next time they wake up? You think All In Texas is, oh my God, another stadium show, look at AEW. You think that's going to wipe away their fucking problems? No, it's not. It's only going to highlight that. You think a TV deal is going to wipe away their problem. The one thing I'm going to be looking at is I hope they get their fucking money, because I hope they get their money, and I hope that they see that they now need to work harder. Or you're going to take the Vince McMahon route, get your money, and then fucking laugh at us because everybody thought AEW was going to die, and you're going to go half-ass on the creative even more so. That's what I'm going to be looking forward to. Are you going to step up your game, or are you going to fucking coast because you got your fucking money from Zaslav? That's what I'm going to be looking forward to. But I'm going to obviously be taken out of context with that, and people are going to say I'm negative and all this other shit. But this Dak shit, the whole thing with Britt that got started 2 Halloweens ago because I called out, I said legitimately, bro, on a Jade Cargill and Marina Shafir match, please God, no. And they took that as, oh my God, let's go nuclear on. Are you fucking serious? Is everybody in that locker room soft as Charmin? Like, really? You think I'm the only one that thinks that way?
Man.
You think I'm the only one that thinks this tag team division is fucking atrocious from what it used to be? This company was built on tag team wrestling. Where the fuck did it go? That's what I want to know.
Who knows? No one is blaming it on Dax, but he seems to take it very personally when he hears something that he does not like. Keep that same energy and go talk to fucking creative. Go talk to creative as to why the tag division sucks. Don't ask us. If it sucks, it sucks. And if you don't think it sucks and it's great, fine, ignore us. But look around you. Look at the venues. Take a look at the ticket sales. Is it us that are wrong?
No, it's not us that are wrong. And you still have people saying, Dax owned you guys. And he didn't own shit. The only thing he's owned was a couple of shots at tequila before he wrote that fucking tweet. No doubt about it. He didn't own shit. Neither did fucking Matt Goon. He didn't own shit either. It's always,
I've noticed. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's always so blatantly obvious with everybody. They are jealous of what we have built here. They would fucking kill to have 1/10 of the audience that we have over on their end of things. People want to see us fail. People don't understand why we are so popular. People don't understand why JD from New York has 6,000 people watching him on a SummerSlam Sunday night. They don't understand why I had nearly 20,000 people watching me for WrestleMania, 5 times more than the next person doing this same thing. Why? When I say I'm number one live every fucking night, I mean it. They would kill to have what we have here. But the thing is, they don't understand it. They have followed their own rules and they've stuck to their guns about being positive. The uber positivity is more damaging to a fucking channel than someone like me who's open and honest. I might not be growing. I might not have as much as Wrestle Talk or Cultaholic, but when they go live, we're doing double their numbers, and they have 800,000 subscribers. Why is that? Because honesty, people want to see honest and genuine takes. They want to see fucking entertaining takes. They want to see people who are real. Everybody that you watch is a fucking cartoon character. That's it. They try and be something that they're not. They fake it till they'll make it. They're not genuine with anybody, and they only have them in mind. They don't give a fuck about Dynamite. They don't give a shit about Tony Khan or AEW or WWE. They only want to be where they need to be because they only worry about themselves. They don't give a fuck about pro wrestling. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here fucking putting my blood, sweat, and tears into this shit, and I don't love pro wrestling. I don't love what I do. The fucking problem. Hard work does not pay off. It's only the people who are political and fucking suck dick to get ahead. That's where they go. Me, if I did that, I would be not me. Hard work doesn't pay off. That's fine. It pisses me the fuck off.
In regards to the other channels, the Cultaholic, the WrestleMania, all that stuff. Look, man. They're doing their own thing, all right? And they're good at it. Whether or not it's a reel or it's a stick or they're bullshitting about it, I don't know. But the thing is, they are doing what's true to them and their core audience, okay? So if your style of wrestling takes is one of them, that's okay. If you're here because this is the style that you enjoy, then that's okay too. We prefer that one, all right? But it doesn't mean ours is wrong. It doesn't mean theirs is wrong. It just means it's not my cup of tea. If this one is not your cup of tea, we want it to be, but if it's not, you can just watch another fucking podcast. But to go around and try to change people, you should be more like them. You should deliver like the way they do. You should do this. No, let them do them and let us do what we do here. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it, but it does not mean that we're wrong in what we're fucking saying. You just don't like how we sound when we say it. Sorry. It happens. You know, I mean, it's like he said, it's not sunshine and fucking rainbows, man. You want me to fucking soften the blow for you? You know, where were you guys? So I've noticed when the booking of FTR went off the rails, and I called that shit out immediately, heard nothing from no one. When a certain Phil got fired from the fucking company, it seems to me like TK kind of cared a little bit less about the two guys who was riding with him to the bitter end. Is it not just me? Did anyone notice that when fucking Punk left, the FTR's booking just drastically fucking declined? Because I did. No one said I was called that shit out.
Seems like when Punk left, Ricky Starks was actively taken off television too. You don't think Tony Khan did that deliberately? Certainly looks like it does. Are we not supposed to feel that way? Are we not supposed to say that? Is that off limits? Why don't I hear this from WWE people? Do I have WWE talents in the fucking DMs or on Twitter? You know, I've said time and time and time again that The Miz is fucking terrible. That Liv Morgan's offense is terrible. Do I got The Miz blowing up my fucking Twitter? Do I got Liv Morgan in my fucking DMs saying, how could you? You're an asshole. Like, what the fuck? Why is it only AEW and not WWE? I don't get it.
When you go on a rant because you're pissed because your Braves hit a skid, do the Braves GM start tweeting at you, telling you to fucking shut up and change and all this other bullshit?
I don't understand it. Like, I could say something about fucking a terrible album that one of my favorite musicians put out. If I say it sucks, are they going to be blowing up my fucking Twitter? Is Brian Snicker, the Braves manager, going to be fucking cursing me out on Twitter because I didn't like the late game decision he made that blew the game? No, but I got AEW wrestlers blowing me up. How could you, this case, Dax, leave me the fuck alone? Leave me alone. That's what I want. Leave me the fuck alone. You think I enjoyed everything MJF did over 5 years of AEW? Do you see MJF in my fucking mentions? No, he's a fucking man. He's gonna go and correct what is wrong. You see Osprey in my fucking DMs? No. I don't understand this shit.
You can't control the narrative around what is happening on the show. If you want to change anything, start by changing the show. You can't go around and just start telling people what they should and shouldn't be saying, how they should and shouldn't be fucking saying it. Worry about the show. Worry about the attendance. Worry about the numbers. That's your job to worry about that shit.
I don't know what else needs to be said here, really. I think we've expended everything we needed to.
I feel better. I feel better.
If anybody listening didn't think we were going to talk about this, you got another thing coming, man. It's not how I operate. You fucking come into my home and you tell me how to do things like everybody else is doing them, we got a fucking problem, bro. There's not anybody for this fucking tweet. I'm going to throw it up again just to show you guys how fucking ridiculous it is. There was nobody in this community who stood up for me. This isn't even the worst thing that happened on social media in regards to me and something I said. This is a tame take. This is a tame, middle of the road take on creative, and it got blown out of proportion. Nobody backed me up, but Solid Monster last night on TNT in his sound off segment at the end of the show, and Jesse on social media. Nobody else. Everybody's like, you got to change this. It's this that you're doing wrong. It's your delivery. You take things personal. Take things personal with who? Who? I'm the innocent victim in this fucking shit. I didn't say anything outside of the norm. I apologized to Alexa. I apologized to Britt. The Alexa thing was years ago, and people still bring that up. If you think I'm the same way I was then now, you're an idiot. I'm not. But I apologized to Britt. Personally, we talked. Things are squashed there. Me and Jesse did wrong in that case, and we apologized for it. That was it. And we moved on like fucking men and women. But this, well, because Matt Kuhn has a problem with me and is jealous of what we built here and wants people like him want to tear us down, we're not going anywhere. You can't get rid of us. You're not going to get rid of us. I'm only going to continue to get more popular, and people are going to help that along because seemingly you can't stop talking about us. Great. And even if you did stop talking about it, that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop working. Look at what we've done here, man. Look at the show that we've built. Look at the fucking way we look, the way we feel, the way we sound. You have a problem with that? Or are you just in a position where you don't understand what we are and why we're so popular? Well, this one is not as popular as you. Why? I don't understand how he has the platform he has. Because I'm fucking real. That's why. If anything you need to take into 2025 is that open, honest discussion needs to be the norm. Stop it.
I don't even like his name. It fucking feels racist. I don't fucking like
Fuck him.
It's just saying. That's just a me thing.
Fuck him. Use my name for fucking social media clout, and he's a failure of whatever the fuck he is. And he's gonna see it, and he'll probably say something fucking ridiculous. Fuck him. I don't give a shit who I piss off, who he knows that I pissed off, pissed him off, pissed Dax off. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm in a position, and this man is in a position, where if you don't like what we have to say, take it up with your fucking boss. I don't give a shit what these people do in their personal lives. I don't know a fucking goddamn thing about what anybody does outside of what we see on TV. The only thing we've ever talked about is what happens on TV. If you don't like that, there are other places where you could go, sit like a good little boy, like you're in church, keep your fucking mouth shut, and listen to two unentertaining fucking hacks go on air for an hour and give you nothing but bland, uncharismatic fucking content. You want that? Go do it. You're not going to get that here. Leave me the fuck alone.
You know, somebody told me once, oh, you shouldn't post that. You know, FTR could see this tweet. They could see this tweet, then what? That's the fucking problem. Too many people worried about other people seeing and stuff. And then, so, I mean, look, if you're not trying to be a straight up dick just to be a dick for no reason, say what you fucking want, dude. Say what you fucking want. Now, look, I get it. I get it. I'm not trying to go out there and just hurt people's feelings on purpose. But if we are saying something that comes from the fucking heart and we're not making it up, we're just trying to be dicks about it, but you don't like it, maybe that's a you thing. Or maybe you just care too much about what other people fucking think about you. That is just not how we fucking roll, man.
And a lot of people usually see what we do on social media and use the excuse, oh, you wouldn't have that same energy in person. I don't know about Jesse. I don't know about Jesse. Jesse's going to handle his business the way he feels he should handle business. But I'll tell you what, when we were in Philadelphia and we did the tailgate with Drew, thank you to everybody that showed up. I mean, I met so many people I didn't know what to do with myself. But Top Dollar was there. AJ Francis was there. You know what I did to AJ Francis? I went up and apologized to AJ Francis for the misinformation that he thought I threw out there. He thought I was going after him. I claimed that Top Dollar and Hit Row would be fired in 6 weeks on SmackDown when they got called up because I said, well, they shouldn't be called up. I think Legado del Fantasma should be called up before them. Vince and Bruce are going to eat them alive. They'll be gone in 6 weeks. They were gone in 4 weeks. I apologized to him face to face when I seen him in Philadelphia, and he said, "Yeah, I get it. It's all a thing. It's all a shtick. I get it. You know, it's not really a shtick, but kind of is at the same time." But you know what he went and did? He went and go tell Joey Janela, and he went to go tell Sean Ross Sapp that I was a pussy in person. And that my apology was me being a pussy in person. Meanwhile, I thought I was doing the right thing, trying to explain where I came from, and he just misconstrued the whole thing to go tell his buddies over at Fightful and fucking Joey Janela. That's the type of people we're dealing with.
Look, man, I have nothing to apologize for, and I don't say shit that I won't say to anybody's fucking face. Now, look, man, I don't say anything personal about anyone. It's never anything absolutely fucking personal, except my tweet about fucking Dax Harwood. I'm just really tired of how fucking sensitive that guy is, dude. At this point, seriously. Fun fact, I met Dax when I was in London. We actually shared an elevator going down to breakfast one fucking morning. And in the 45 seconds we spent together, he was such a nice guy that the only thing that he ended up talking about in that quick 45 seconds or whatever it was his family. I'm there with my wife. We're talking about his family, our family that quick. I mean, just a normal fucking dude. But I gotta fucking tell you, man, when he gets a phone in his hand, he gets super fucking sensitive on fucking Twitter. And that's just the fucking truth, man. I don't fucking get it. Someone's like, you wouldn't say that shit in person. Look, I'm no fucking Superman. I'm no fucking big super fucking badass. But at the same time, I don't know about the rest of you men out there, but I fear no man. I fear absolutely fucking no man. Does that mean I won't get my ass kicked? I'm sure Dax will beat the shit out of me in a fucking fight. That's not the fucking point. I'm not scared of no fucking man. So to say, oh, you wouldn't say it to his face, yes, I would. Yes, the fucking, if I'm that upset about it and that pissed about it, yes, I would. It is not about who would get beat. He would kick your ass. He would kick my ass. All right? I'm not scared of a fucking beat. I'm not scared of a fucking fight. This is not about fighting. It's not about any of that shit. It's about right and wrong. I just feel like he's fucking wrong in how he goes about that shit. That's all I'm fucking saying.
Ross is in the chat. Ross, what's up, brother? He says, it's funny that as soon as JD starts giving AEW real criticism, people start getting butthurt. Where's everybody going to be after we praise this show tonight? Where was everybody in July for 3 straight weeks where I said Dynamite was fucking absolutely on fire? Where was everybody back in March as we went into big business and they were putting on the best shows that they maybe have ever done? And I personally reached out to Tony Khan and told him that. Where were you guys with Revolution this year where I said it was the best AEW pay-per-view of all time? Where was everybody when Jesse and I spent $6,000 to fly first class because I wanted to give myself the best fucking experience ever to go to London. And this guy here and me sat at Wembley Stadium amongst 80,000 fucking people. Who does that if they fucking hate AEW?
Yep.
Give me a fucking break.
I can sit at home and hate it for free.
Ridiculous. The fucking narratives they get put out there. I can't wait for everybody to say JD hated AEW tonight. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you going to be? Oh, that's right. You're going to be fucking typing away to somebody else that hated it, and you're going to blatantly ignore us who were overwhelmingly gleaming with the fucking positivity tonight.
By the way, don't clip this shit out of fucking context. Clip the whole fucking thing, beginning to fucking end.
Take whatever fucking part you want. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks there. I don't give a shit what anybody on social media says. I'm in a position, and this man is in a position now, and I'm fucking full steam ahead. I don't give a fuck what you think or what you say. I'm going to make my fucking money regardless. I'm going to keep bringing in the numbers like I usually do, and we've blown away last year's numbers by 25%, and we're not even through August yet. So you can continue to sit there and say JD doesn't have what it takes to cut it, or he's failed, or this and that, he's dropped off. Give me a fucking break, man. If I could show you the numbers, I would, but I'm not like that. I already showed Sat my numbers, and I fucking threw it in his fucking face because he was another prick who said, oh, all you do is scream. Scream? So you know what I did? I screenshotted my fucking earnings for April to him. Here you go, man. Here's what screaming got me. I did more in 1 month than you fucking did in 4 months. What are you going to do now? This is what they think. This is what they think of us. And I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the negativity towards me. I don't do nothing here. I just do my fucking job. Have I called people out? Sure. Am I not allowed to? Am I not allowed to say this person sucks or that person sucks? God forbid what they fucking said about me. Fuck out of here. Done with this shit.
Main event.
Swerve and Bryan. We're not even talking about fucking six-man tag. Who gives a shit?
There we go. They're just complaining anyway. Fuck it.
Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland. Nigel was the moderator for this final countdown. He's in the ring. Welcome.
Nigel really hates Bryan, doesn't he?
He does. A lot of people were like, this should be the All In match, Nigel versus Bryan, but they have other plans, obviously. Swerve came out dancing, or Nana rather came out dancing. Swerve came out with Nana dancing. Obviously, everybody was pro Swerve here for the time being. McGinnis was about to reluctantly introduce Bryan when he stopped and shook Strickland's hand, and he brought up Bryan being brittle Bryan, the neck break kid, while Strickland is in the best shape of his life. McGinnis asked how it feels to be an overwhelming favorite. Strickland said he's the most dangerous man due to the pain he endures and inflicts to be the AEW World Champion. Strickland runs down the list of victims: Hangman Page twice, Jay White, Takeshita, Samoa Joe, Claudio, Christian Cage, Will Ospreay. Strickland will dissect Danielson from head to toe decisively. While Strickland appreciates a generational talent like Bryan, a Pacific Northwesterner like Strickland is, he still feels disrespected by Danielson, who he hears saying he's ready to retire and go off into the sunset. Strickland said Danielson isn't taking this moment from him. He's taking it from Danielson. Strickland will make sure Danielson won't ever get back in the ring again. If Danielson gets the itch again, know that Strickland would be there. Even if it's at an indie show in the Northwest or at Arena Mexico under a mask, Strickland will be there to beat him down. Even if Danielson is at home with his wife, talking about maybe having an itch to get back in the ring, guess where I will be. Danielson's music hits. He runs out. He takes out Strickland with a Busaiku knee. McGinnis and Nana bailed. Danielson gets on the microphone and said maybe a lot of people are confused as he doesn't want to come out here 20 minutes every week to talk about himself. He knows who he is. This is the truth. Strickland and Bryan know it. Danielson is the best fucking wrestler in the entire world and has been for the last 20 years. Strickland can say he's going to cripple Danielson from head to toe in front of his daughter, but at Wembley Stadium, the fans who have paid to see him the last 25 years and in front of his family, his wife, daughter, and Strickland, they will have to do more than just cripple him. They'll have to damn near kill him, as Danielson will leave his soul in the ring. He said, tonight there's a lot of talking and fighting. There's only one question left. Can the American fucking Dragon beat Swerve Strickland for the World Championship? And he does, yes. As yes chants rang out through the arena, and commentary said the Dragon has awoken and ready for All In. Brian's segment was tremendous. I love when Brian is heated. There's nothing better than a heated Bryan Danielson promo where he's dropping fucking F-bombs. This was great. It was a great final sell. I'm excited to see where they go, but my opinion still stands, Jesse. I think Bryan wins the championship, and I think we go all the way to Wrestle Dream, and I think that's where we drop the title back to Swerve, and then we can kind of pick up Adam Page and Swerve Strickland after that's all over.
Yeah, so I think they did a pretty good job at building this up to really kind of leave us in the dark on who the winner is going to be. I don't think there's going to be a clear winner. I could honestly see either one of these guys walking out of here, which is, I mean, how a build should be. Swerve has been treated well. He looked like a champion tonight. He looked strong. That's another motherfucker that fucking is too sensitive as fucking Swerve, but whatever. He looks like a champ. He comes out, he's looking like a fucking badass. He looks strong. He's booked strong. He's not out there every fucking night, doing open challenges. He comes out in the main event segment and does his fucking shit, and he goes back. He looks good. Bryan looked more passionate tonight than I've seen him look in a long fucking time. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion as who's walking away with anything. I could see either guy walking out as champion, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Sunday. All In's going to be great. The top matches for this show have been built up very good. I even said it. Clip this. I know it won't because everybody wants to just pick apart the negativity and ignore the positivity that comes off this show. I said the top matches for this show going into Sunday's All In has been built better than the top matches for SummerSlam. But you won't clip it. So that's the way I felt. That's the way I felt for weeks now. I'm looking forward to it, especially Osprey and MJF. And then obviously Swerve and Danielson, Mariah May, Toni Storm. It's going to be great. And then Hangman potentially winning that Gauntlet match. We got a lot to look forward to. And we will be all over it on Sunday night. Thank you guys very much for all your support. And we are still with 1,700 people in here. Thank you guys very, very much for all of your support. Get those super chats in. We're going to read them and then get the fuck out of here because I'm riled up, and I don't want to say something I should not be saying. So, thank you guys.
I think we're past that already.
Yeah, well. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the content. Plenty of it on the channel. Homepage got you covered. And please,
the DMs are going to be so good tomorrow morning, man.
Please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. We got 664 likes. Try for 750 before we get out of here. Tone C, the first one in the venue tonight. $5 super chat. Stop is okay. I'm debating on seeing Creed in November. I'm waiting on Tremonster to come with his solo group. I've only seen Miles with Slash. Tone, I don't know where you are emanating from, but Miles is going to be touring the United States early next year. Tremonti has a new album out January 10th, I believe. And Alter Bridge might have an album out towards late next year. So that is the music calendar for everything Alter Bridge there. Michelle with a $2 super chat. After that promo, Bryan can't lose now. I don't think he's losing. I think he retains. I think he wins the championship. Nick Williams with 27 months. Whether it's WWE or AEW, England knows how to bring it. With that being said, imagine Bryan Danielson retiring this year and Cena retiring next year. I don't think Bryan is going to ever retire. If Bryan is going to take several steps back, that is the most he's going to do. He will wrestle until the wheels can no longer go. David, thank you for the $100 super chat, brother, earlier. Grant with a $9.99. Hey, JD, Dynamite was fucking amazing tonight. The final Dynamite before Wembley, and I'm excited for All In. Also, sent the $20 super chat on Monday. I don't know if you got it, but I love what you and Jesse do. Hashtag OTS. Grant, I did get it. I don't know if you see my message in the chat during TNT last night, but I pinged you, and I did get it. Thank you, brother. Mr. Team Bringer with a $1.99. International crowds are greater than U.S. crowds. Always. The United Kingdom crowd is great. Trevor, what's up, brother? Dynamite was a home run tonight. Perfect balance of promo and matches. Osprey and MJF blending story with reality. Jesse with the Merriman jersey.
Peep my Shawn Merriman, man.
There you go.
That's what's up.
Vita in the chat. Pac is probably going to get a match. He will be with Claudio and Yuta for the Trios ladder match. They are the mystery team. Trevor, thank you, brother. Juan Castle with the 199 tuned out from AEW, started to blast Van Halen. Well, there you go. So long as you enjoyed yourself, brother. I don't care what you did. Mr. Team Bringer with a 499. The way these sickos think needs to be studied. You've always been consistent with your reviews. Thank you for not selling out. Fuck Dax Smallwood. Thank you, Bring It.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I don't get it, brother. I mean, I've been the same way with everything I reviewed, man. I don't know why this is some phenomenon now that I'm overly negative. Joseph.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Joseph with a $20 super chat. It's amazing when the NWA can put over a character like Camille, making her a new version of China, but TK gives us a watered-down Wardlow. Is that what's going on with her? You guys are thinking she's being booked like Wardlow? She hasn't even done anything yet.
I can kind of see it, which will be consistent with the way Wardlow started off here, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. It's early. She just got here.
Yeah, she just got
see
here.
how it plays out.
Yeah, she hasn't had a real match yet. She's squashed jobbers.
Yeah.
Lady B with a $5 super chat. Is it too convoluted that Brian's TV character is serious about winning, but in interviews he's cool with losing and retiring and seems not to care? I mean, it's a good question. I don't know why there's a difference. He's trying to really, I guess Brian is trying to be the overcoming, conquering babyface in regards to Swerve being vicious again. But in reality, he wants to at least kind of put the veil over what's actually happening. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
John Wick. Why didn't TK book JD from NY206 and Chi-Town Smart versus the men I now call Cash Register Snowflake, Dax, a.k.a. Dax Squeaker, Flick the Revival?
Oh, no, but leave Cash out of this, though.
Yeah, Cash has no... I have no problem with any of them. I don't have any problem with Dax, ever. I got a problem with the way things were handled.
Yep.
Edward with a 36 months, 3 years as a VIP and many more before as a Patreon. Awesome to see how you've grown, JD. Keep being honest with what is good and what is bad. Cheers, Edward. As always, brother, thank you for the years of support, brother. Triple M, $5 super chat. Good to see you, Jesse. Hope things have been okay. I'll be at SmackDown on my birthday on October 11th. I'll bring a sign. OTS fam, if you play Destiny, let me know.
That's what's up, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Triple M. I'll be on some Nightfalls before I go to sleep. Keith Hobson with 4 months in the VIP section. Thank you, brother. Meh, it was an okay show. I'm waiting for AEW to go to Max. OTS for life. Should be soon. Robert Lamoa with a $10 super chat. So you're telling me Kyle O'Reilly left WWE to be with Adam Cole, but eventually leave the group to be a singles wrestler? If he doesn't join the Kingdom at some point, then why leave WWE? Well, he was feuding with Von Wagner on NXT, bro. I think where he is right now is a lot better off than being in WWE then under the 2.0 era. He would have been released anyway. Francis Loop with a 25 in Super Chat. Can we please get Tomohiro Ishii out of the conglomeration and have him team up with his fellow countryman Minoru Suzuki and form the tag team, the Murder Grandpas, and go after tag team gold? No. The Forbidden Door is closed. I don't want to see it open again. Not with New Japan. He also says, was at Target today and saw a Jamal and Rosie WWE action figure, not an Umaga and Rosie, the superhero, but 3-minute warning figures. I love 3-minute warning. I wasn't a fan of Umaga and Rosie the superhero.
What?
You weren't a fan of Umaga? What the fuck is wrong with you, Francis?
Oh, I thought that was you saying Umaga. Like that was still the super chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Umaga was the shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Also, he says, the learning tree needs to go bye-bye. Big Bill needs to be a serious heel like Kevin Nash was in WCW in 1996, early NWO. I mean, you ain't wrong there. Big Bill's great. He's just straddled with this fucking shit gimmick.
I think he needs Enzo back.
He does need Enzo. You want to get the take? You want to get the tag team division where it needs to be on the right mend? There you go.
Yeah. I think they both need each other right now.
I'm sure.
How's he doing over there? And he's an NWA, right?
Is he?
I think so.
I'm sure people will bring up his past and claim that he's still guilty after they did an investigation to give a verdict of not guilty.
No, that's bullshit. That's all debunked. I don't want to hear anything about that shit for him, man. Nope.
Demeter Bullion, nanny sexy dem like a chicken apple with a $7.99. He says Jaws 5 with Ricky Flair as Quint, MJF as Brody, and Enzo as Hooper. Nanny and I having beers after she put Pa to bed. She laid it down on him last night. Wow. I would actually pay to see Jaws 5 with MJF as Brody. I don't think Ric Flair would be a good Quint, though, would he? He may be onto something there.
Did not watch it that much, man. I think I've seen it once.
Joseph Taylor with a $5 super chat. JD, if you had a boring channel, you would end up like Denise, and nobody wants to be Denise. No, you go see her views. Nobody gives a fuck what she says.
Bro, she did nothing to nope, I'm not in this one. Nope.
Just calling it like I see it. Go look at the numbers, man. It speaks for itself. Joseph with a $10 super chat. You got to remember these guys are not from New York or Gen X. They are babies. They don't need to be from New York, man. I didn't say anything outside the norm. I said a tag team division was terrible. That was it. On what planet is that I broke my back for 30 minutes and I'm disrespectful to the talent? No, you read what you read and you wanted to see what you wanted to see. I didn't say any of that.
Every 30-minute match we have to put over, no matter what they did in it, no matter what.
Omega Con with 30 months. I think we need to fight these losers. Real life. Drew, Dax, Matt. Seriously. I don't want to fight nobody. I just want people to leave me the fuck alone and let me do my content. I'm not getting into media again. They don't fucking give a shit what... They don't give a shit to bring me to media anymore, but everybody just loves what we have to say here. Please make it make sense. Edward with a $9.99. Success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come... Said by The Rock. JD, a symbol of consistency and hard work. Edward, thank you, brother. Robert Lamoa, the $5 super chat. JD and Jesse, they are emotional, irrational men. To them, it's all about positivity, feeling good, and the vibes. Well, that only gets you so far, bro. There's such a thing about toxic positivity, too. It just comes off disingenuous and fake. Jesse Stowe with a $3 super chat. He leaves me a fist bump emoji. Thank you. Francis Luke with a 20 in super chat. How about a females blood and guts match with Mercedes, Camille, Mariah May, Chris Statlander, and Deonna Purrazzo versus the Britch, Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa, and Willow Nightingale. I guess you mean Britt, huh? I like it. You just got to make sense of it.
I don't like it at all. It already sounds forced before we even get into it.
Yeah. Francis also, I would rekindle the past of Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm when Jamie comes back before Jamie feuds with anybody. Remember, Toni injured Jamie, and now that she is a babyface, would make an interesting story. Yeah, but Britt and Jamie have a history before Toni Storm. Bearded Beast with a $10 super chat. You're my favorite podcast. Been a fan for over 5 years. I always come to support your channel. You the man, JD. Weak men will hate on us. Fuck them, bro. Bearded, thank you, brother. David also drops another $100 super chat. I missed this one in my rant and Jesse's rant. I appreciate that, David. Thank you so much, man. This is my version of a standing ovation. Even when we don't see eye to eye on something in regards to pro wrestling, I always appreciate the honesty from you both and Solomon. So keep being you fellas. Hashtag OTS for life. David.
Thank you.
We will see you on the All In stream, brother. Francis Lou with a $10 super chat. All 10 women have history with each other and are feuding with each other. TK, you have 10 months until June 2025. You just have to connect the feuds, group them up, and then make the announcement. Yeah, you're asking a lot there, Francis.
There you go. Great. Creative.
WWE does shit backwards, says Francis. They announce the War Games match and then start to throw teams together out of randomness. You grow the feuds until you get the teams of 5 first and then make the announcement. All right, well, they want you to know War Games is happening this year so they could sell out the place that they're going to be emanating from. And we all know what War Games is going to be. It's going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline. So there's no mystery around what it's going to be. I mean, you could see where they're going. Just watch the show. Fabian Garcia with a $2 Super Chat. Could see Tony and Mariah having a dog collar match. I'd love to see it. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Lewis with a $20 Super Chat. Fuck the haters, JD. I never listened to any wrestling shows on YouTube until I found yours, and I listened because you keep it real, unlike those other fakes. OTS for life. Thank you, Lewis. Hope you are well, brother. Seizure, your property. The $5 Super Chat. Will Ospreay isn't that bad with his promos. He's got that hard accent, and it's tough to understand him sometimes. I understand him. He does have a very thick accent, but I actually quite enjoy it, to be quite honest with you. I thought that promo was fucking fantastic. Basic with a $9.99. There are times when being different sets a different trend, making the one prior obsolete. I smell very threatened podcasters that are worried about their livelihood. Keep doing what you're doing, JD. That's all it's about, Basic. They are threatened by what we do here, and they don't understand what I do and what we do here on Wednesdays. They don't get it. Oscar Prince with a $4.99. Got to bring my newborn home today. She was wide awake for the Learning Tree segment and then fell asleep for the rest of the show. Laughing emoji. Listen, man, she's already off to a good start. She knows what's bad and what's good. Congratulations, brother. Michael with a 1 month. Hi, guys. Could you see Mox winning the Gauntlet match and Paige costing Swerve the title at All In? I could. Mox may be a surprise. We'll find out on Sunday. But I'm going with Paige winning the championship opportunity. Will with a 5. AEW should take notice. They're losing the lucrative brothers and missing out on the machine guns. I'd like to see the machine guns in WWE. Kal-El with 30 months. Fuck them haters. I've been riding with you since Harry's, and I still use Harry. So do I. You, Jesse, and Solid Monster are the complete shit. Mustangs rule. Thank you, brother. And the Learning Tree, or the Learning Sicko, rather, Dr. Bropio. What's up, brother? Coming over from Solid Monster's stream. I guess Dak's constant rah-rah speeches got FTR a title shot out of nowhere. Jesse was right. Great rant. Keep up the good work, both of you guys. Dr. Bropio, thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
And shout out to Ross in the chat, bro. He's still here. We gotta get something. We gotta get something together, man. Whether it's me and you, and we fucking burn the IWC down and make it one of the most watched streams ever, or we do a 3-way with Jesse. Something.
Working on it right now. I literally just sent something out.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much. We are getting out of here. I need a cold beverage after tonight's stream. If you are rocking with us, we appreciate you. If you are from AEW and watching us, we both love the fucking company, man. Don't get it misinformed, okay?
I need a drink.
We love AEW. We want to see it succeed. But when everybody starts coming at us for absolutely no fucking reason, then that's when we have a problem and we're going to speak our piece. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Follow Jesse on Twitter as well, Chi-Town Smart. Follow him on YouTube. Click the link in the description and go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Also, make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it. Uploaded an extra today on Ricky Starks. Solid Monster and I were live on Tuesday night with Tuesday Night Titans episode 62. Make sure you guys go check out all that stuff on the homepage. And please continue to hit that thumbs up. 1,000 likes is the goal. I know we'll get it. So please hit that thumbs up if you guys have not done so. I'm going to let this one play out because I spent good money to let it fucking play on the show tonight. Trivium, the sin in the sentence, man, kind of fit the vibe. The chorus fit the vibe of what we were going for tonight. And I want to thank you guys for a great show. Next time you see me, we'll be live on Friday Night SmackDown right here on OTS. I'll see you guys later.